I'm ready to police your fun. Well, anyway, chat. So people are slowly going to start joining. And I believe let's just do a quick announcement. So, guys, as you know, this is this was the card creation tournament number 7, I believe. Shad, was it 7?
Ooh,
yeah,
like
it
that.
was 7. It was 7. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Zermal the Changer is already here. Let's see if Zermal gets to take home a win today. Hi once again, and welcome back, my brother. So, guys, this is for 7, and this was a little bit different. This time we allowed the addition of 40k cards. Not actually allowed, but that was the theme. You had to make a 40k card, but it had to be made from a faction that exists in HHL, so no custom factions, basically. Well, I mean, you could customize it in your own way, but you know what I mean. So there's a lot of submissions actually here, and me and Shad are going to go through them. As always, this time we're going to be doing it live, and we're going to decide the winners on stream. And afterwards, of course, after the stream ends, we're going to decide on the format of the next tournament, and tomorrow you'll already have your announcements. So without further ado, Shad, shall we?
Absolutely. Do you want to take it away, or shall I? I'll read my own, or you read yours.
As per tradition, we can start from yours. Yours was the beheading.
Right.
So,
all right then.
Let's go.
Yeah. In that case, the beheading, a 10 energy legendary tactic for the Imperial Army, neutral. I've kind of cheated here because this is referencing an event that happened in the 36th millennium, not the 40th or the 41st. But it is your troops gain backlash, put Ganimus into play. And Ganimus representing an Aversa assassin. And this represents the very pivotal event during the War of the Beast, when Draken Vangorich basically decided that the High Lords of Terror were all useless and they'd be better off being ripped to shreds by Aversas. So he did.
Yeah, so he did, basically. Honestly, I like it. It's pretty good. You know, you get a lot of Ganimus. And you can definitely... Hey, Master Cross, welcome. And by the way, Cross, I've recently subbed to your channel and I've been enjoying your stuff. So keep it going, man. We need more CC. So, yeah, I totally like this one, Shad, because I don't think it's overpowered, but I think it's just the right amount of cheesy and annoying that it should be. Because if you have a lot of units on the board, just imagine playing this and then you just drop an army of Ganimus, right? And even then, there are some cards that can still remove them. Like, there's a... Orbital Siege, there's like Great Tithe, so there's some stuff that can counter this for sure. So overall, a pretty good card, and I'm surprised this time you actually made a legendary. So
happens now and again, you know.
There's that.
Oh, actually, we should hang on. We should check now. We've got people in the chat. Am I coming through, chat? Can you hear me?
I think they should be, or they would have said it. But let's see, guys. Do you hear Shad, or do you only hear me? Please tell us. We're gonna wait for their reply. There's, I think, only 2 people right here now, Cross and Zermal. So slowly they're gonna join. Usually takes like 10 minutes for people to get there.
I think Luke is having a stroke as well. I mean, I assume that's from a song, but I have no idea which one.
What is the purpose of these tournaments? The purpose of these tournaments is just to have fun and just for the community to enjoy themselves, as well as, you know, get some small rewards in HHL on top of that from EG when they win. Mostly is to bring the community together and have some fun. Shad, yeah, you were saying?
We make a format, then we give you guys 2 weeks to make them, then you submit your cards. These ones that me and Teach have made are just here as examples. We can't win. That would be not very fair. So we're just doing them right now. So this was mine. Teach will do his next. Honestly
speaking, Shad, I don't even think that we sometimes make win-worthy cards. We usually
No. I like some of mine, but like, you know, I don't put a huge amount of thought in because, like,
right?
They're examples.
Yeah, mine's pretty bullshitty. We got Mephiston, so 10 energy, 8/10. The Lord of Death, rally steal health from the target enemy unit equal to the amount of times you have triggered Requiem this game and give it to your warlord. So
the OG Mary Sue.
Yeah, the OG. And yeah, he basically wins the game if you've triggered Requiem enough times. So that means you can play it on Meros and actually have Meros as a scary warlord. What do you think, Shad?
Spelling error detected.
Oh no, where?
Double M on the amount.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, it's...
Oh God.
Is it... Steel health. So does that mean he gets
boys.
it, or your warlord gets it?
No, your warlord gets it and give it to your warlord. So basically, take it.
Oh yeah, right at the end. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see the ending clause. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just supplements a Requiem commander, I suppose, which there aren't that many. You'd probably play this as a finisher in what's his name, Nasir Amit, wouldn't you? Although he's not very good anymore, so maybe not. Yeah, he's all right.
That's pretty nice. For sure.
I don't really know. He's kind of hard to gauge because we don't really have a deck like that out there. I don't know what the average amount of Requiem triggers in a Blood Angels game is, especially since Blood Angels aren't in the meta at the moment. I can't remember the last time I fought a Blood Angels player, except for the bot. Everyone likes bullying the bots, right?
Absolutely. So, Shad, looking forward to rant about my card. Okay. People are already getting ready. And hey, guys. Hey, everybody. Yeah, Igor. Maybe I messed up the time. I don't know, but it's good that we started earlier than you expected because now you don't have to stay up all night looking at the stream. Okay. So, guys, these were our cards. So now that we're done giving medals to ourselves, let's now begin the actual cards. So, Shad, take it away. This is from Ozzy, and he has actually Shad. Wait, I think it's better if I take this one because
fucking Warp Forged. Yeah, right.
Because probably you don't really get maybe what's going on here. So Ozzy actually made an interesting call here. He made a Warp Forge card. Technically, Technically, it's legal. So, because it's 40k and Warforged is the 40k one, so whatever. Scion of Alfarius. It's a 4/3/5. It is supposed to be 5 energy, but I forgot to put the energy mark there. When he sent it, he asked me to fix it up, but I promised, but I forgot. So there you go, but that's on me. Rally, create a random ultramarine tactic and troop in your hand. If it's an Astartes, the Astartes gains. Rally, gains, invincible till the end of your opponent's next turn, right? What was that sound? I have no idea what was that sound. What do you mean? Is there a ghost in my room?
Okay. Oh, probably my keyboard. Sorry, I'll leave it alone for now.
Okay, so
sorry, I didn't know you could hear that.
So basically, you got a 4/3/5, and it creates an ultramarine tactic and troop in your hand. And if the troop is an Astartes, which in most cases is going to be an Astartes, it's going to gain invincible till the end of your opponent's next turn. Invincible is basically invulnerable. So. That's pretty scary because you create a troop and when you drop it, it's going to be invulnerable for 1 turn. That is pretty scary.
I don't play Warpforged, so I don't know what all the numbers mean, but is there a cost? Fine. Am I missing the cost?
As I said, it's my fault. I forgot to put in the cost. I was supposed to fix it up. But it's supposed to be like a 5 cost. This is, Shad, this is like melee and ranged attack. Red is melee. The purple is
I know the basics of it. But yeah, well, I mean, I don't really know much, so I won't comment on it too much. But basically, the fact that it can randomly gain invulnerable or not is massively swingy, considering it's random. So
yeah, it's pretty scary.
That's a bad design already. Sorry.
That is pretty scary.
Without even knowing more about. Yeah, that's my point. It's only scary like on a coin flip. So like it's massively binary, feast or famine. But yeah.
Well, interesting part is, however, that it's an Alpha Legion in the Ultramarines, which I like.
Well, I assume that's the joke. Yeah,
the Alpha Legion submissions, man, always crazy.
I think that one was a joke. So the Harrowing after that, is that his as well?
No, it's not. It's, I believe,
that's someone else.
I think it's from the crazy Magister Saman guy, I think.
Oh,
so I'm not sure. I think so. So, Shad, this one's yours.
Right. Okay. So I'm on the Harrowing now, am I? Okay. Let's see then. So the Harrowing, this is the 40k version. Let's see how it differs. It is a 10 energy legendary Alpha Legion tactic, and it reads: put in play 6 friendly Alpha Legion troops that died this game. Enemy tactics cost 4 more until your next turn. Deal 10 damage to your warlord. Okay, I was about to say, this is already looking like a very, very strong and overpowered Promethean rebirth or whatever it was before they nerfed it. But with that final line, it goes to a little bit more dubious. So yeah, that's an interesting card. Fill your board. Your opponent basically can't play tactics, so they can't answer the board. There are no board wipes that matter really, except for like you might be able to get a good Orbital Siege or Voltarax Assault on this thing if they did it, but even then that's your entire turn gone basically. But it does dome you for 10. There's no way to get shield in Alpha Legion, is there?
No, I don't think so.
It seems pretty. It's very swingy. You've done a good job trying to balance it, considering
10
what
damage.
it does. Yeah, and also it's troops that died this game, which of course forces you to build around it, because if you use low-cost troops, which you need to not die and lose the board, they will dilute the pool. So yeah, kind of like a really big dramatic version of Hexagrammaton.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
It's pretty cool, honestly. With that, deal 10 damage to yourself. You're taking a big risk, because essentially you're saying, if you have something on the board, I just lose. So it's a pretty interesting thing. Overall, pretty interesting. But it can be very swinging in some situations, while very unbeneficial in some. So overall, pretty interesting, I'd say. Oh boy, so this one is mine. This is from Zinch Zier. Oh, Jesus, this is gonna be a big one. So Blind King, 240. So we got the leader of the Dark Mechanicus Titan, Legio. So he's got the special card, Eterna Abominatus. And your Traitor Legio cards can work on vehicles. And 2 energy, choose one. Give Demon Host to all friendly vehicles in play. Add 2 random Traitor Legio vehicle in hand. Put 1 King Apostle in play. And this basically, like, you got essentially 3 choices. Either you add something to your hand, you buff, or you put something in play. And when you play a vehicle and give it awakened, oh god, so when you put in play a vehicle, you also give it awakened or demon host. Yikes.
That's a separate passive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Not part of the active. Yeah.
He also has this King Apostle guy who's an infantry, 2 energy, 2/2. Resolution, give plus 1 health and demon host to random friendly vehicle. And Artyom is like, too much text. Stop.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
And then you got Eterna Abominatus, which is 40 mana, 40 energy, sorry. 7 energy less for each vehicle with Demon Host in play. This is like a Lorgar type thingy. And 1 less if a troop dies. Give your Warlord Relentless. Put in play 2 random 5 and less cost Traitor Legios or Mechanicum vehicles in play. Give them +1/+2. So essentially this is what I want to say about this. I think this card suffers from the usual problem that we mostly have here. It has many very interesting tools that could be super good separately. Once again, now I, for example, really like the passive of your Traitor Legio cards can work on vehicles. That is so interesting, right? That gives you a totally different type of way to play the Titans. However, then giving it even more stuff kind of usually makes it a little bit bloated. So it's where it starts to get a little ugly. So Shad, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I like a lot of the passive stuff on this, but that active ability is just messy as hell, as well as the purple. Well, 2 purples technically. There's a random token card in there as well. Although presumably, if this was a whole 40k faction, that would probably just be a common card. But you know, you've summed up most of the issues I have with it already. There's also Aeterna Abominatus has 2 separate discount abilities on it, which is just quite complex. I mean, you don't see these purple cards already. You have to kind of keep track of them in your head as you're playing. So if it's your opponent, keeping track of one condition is already hard enough, and you want to stack another one on top of that, it's just it's not fun.
Igor is asking which card specifically. Well, for example, the shields, the bloodthirst, and stuff like that work on Titan weapons. So yeah. Okay, moving on. By the way, guys, one thing. Some of you also sent me some meme submissions. I believe I also added all of the memes into the folder, but they might not come out together with your actual submissions, so don't think that I forgot. By the way, at the end of the video, if anybody thinks that I had forgotten the card, just tell me and I'll double check. Since this is a stream, nobody will be forgotten.
I was going to say, responding to whatever that is in Russian, that it's, yes, perhaps a better way of wording that would have been that your vehicles count as Titan weapons. That would probably be a bit more of a sort of like
that's
easy to understand wording that is, makes more sense there.
Okay, Be'lakor is yours.
Oh, right. Let's see then. Belakor, the Dark Master, a Ruinstorm legendary warlord, 240. He probably would be the legendary warlord in a demon-focused faction. Herald of the End Times, which is his purple. He has Unstoppable because he has wings. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
and 0 energy. Put a copy of the Blade of Shadows in your hand. Initiative high. So, what does the Blade of Shadows do? I hear you ask. Your warlord gains +1 attack, terror, and awakened until the end of your next turn. And those don't go away, so you can stack those up for extra attack when necessary, which is some interesting interplay there. And then he has this purple, which is 17 cost. Your warlord becomes the Herald of the End Times and heals 10. 10, not 5. That's interesting. Okay. Lower the cost by 2 when you trigger Awakened. See, that one's interesting. It's hard to judge these sometimes because he himself has Awakened, obviously, but that's not a mechanic Ruinstorm have, and that's where you put him. You can argue, and you'd probably be correct, that they would have Awakened if there was a 40k version. It's a very universal mechanic that should have been in a lot of places, but they don't have it, so it's hard to say. But yeah, the new version of Herald of the End Times, Belakor, becomes a 445, so Jesus is a big boy. Awakened, Terror, Unstoppable, 4 energy, gain +1 attack, can act again if you control no troops. That's a permanent attack buff. And then it says next time, put in play a random demon, give it 2 random mutations. It's a lot of randomness there, friend. I don't know. It just seems a little strange to me. I know Belakor's scary. He's a demon prince. All demon princes are scary, but I don't know if he's 4 attack scary. 4 attack is Angron. Remember, like we have other demon princes in the game. They don't go up to 4. I know he's a big deal, Belakor, but he's not really like a bruiser. I mean, yeah, he's the Shadow Master, isn't he? That's his thing. What else is there? I like the interplay with his active ability, though. You can save up the Blades of Shadow and use the Terror strategically. Obviously, you can't use it the turn you play it as well. He's interesting, yeah. I just don't really see how you build a deck, though, as well. Like, the only thing he has synergy with is Awakened.
So, first of all, sorry for cutting in, Shad. Just a lot of questions. Guys, Awakened, if you don't know, what Awakened basically does is that at the start of your turn, the unit has a chance to act itself. Which means usually do a shit move because the AI is not good. So that's what it basically means. And since it's a Ruinstorm Warlord, you're really not going to be getting any Awakened except from your ability. So if you really want to do your Herald of the End Times, you really need to be using your Warlord power over and over again. I like the Warlord chat. The only problem is I think the End Times version is a little bit overloaded, I guess. I don't know. What do you think again?
It does a lot, but yeah, it's just him having a non-standard Reckoning that I worry about. It just seems very strange for him, for Belakor in particular. There are so many powerful beings in 40k. What makes Belakor so special? Nothing really. There's demons that are a lot stronger than him. There's Primarchs that can probably go toe-to-toe with him. There's all kinds of crazy Necron and Eldar bullshit. He's just not that impressive.
Time Twister, hey man, thank you. Glad that you are enjoying the content. Cheers. Yeah, Shad, if there's anything to add, we can move on. If there's not anything to add.
Not really, no.
Okay. Interesting card, though. Pretty cool art as well. Oh, what is this? Boreas, Interrogator Chaplain. 3 energy, 2/4. So we got a low energy card. That's surprising. So we got the Dark Angels. Nice. Yeah, Belakor is indeed the first Demon Prince, gentlemen. That is what he is. And I really like playing him in Total War 3. So, quest. Create a random Deathwing troop in your hand and give it +1/+1. So basically, if you complete the quest, yeah. Backlash. All enemies lose Duplicitous and Stealth. That's so interesting. And draw 2 Ravenwing troops from your deck. So it's understated a little bit. Well, in terms of health, no, it's pretty good. Attack is low. It has a quest, and if you do complete the quest, he is going to add a Deathwing troop to your hand, which is random. I think it's all right, to be fair, because it has to. It's not an anti-stealth per se, because it has to die when you play it. Basically, you cannot just put it and use it an instant
It's
anti-stealth.
very good flavor though, isn't it? With the
It
Defenders of
is. It
Caliban.
is.
Yeah.
That's what I like. The
Um.
duplicitous part. Yeah.
Yeah, the way I would see it, the Duplicitous and the Stealth are just flavor. They're not actually the main point of the card. The main point of the card is draw 2 Ravenwing troops from your deck. It's a 3 energy 2/4, which is only slightly understated for a 3 energy, with an extra quest as well, which can be nice. But like realistically, the fact that it draws you 2 troops is just huge amounts of gas. You would probably play this in every deck. In fact, I would even say it's a little strong. Probably nerf it down to a 2/3. Then I'd say it'd be fine, because that's just a lot of guaranteed value.
Yeah. The special part there is like draw 2 cards is nuts.
Yeah.
But overall,
I mean, well, yeah.
I
like
mean, it's a
compare it
legendary.
to what was the name of that guy? Well, yeah, we don't balance around legendary status. That's bullshit. But no, it's what was it? The Legacy Imperial Army Infantry Salon 11th, I think, or something. That was a 3 energy 2/3 with Backlash, draw a card, and that was all right. It wasn't quite good enough to see play, but you know, this thing draws 2, so yeah, exactly. Put it down to a 2/3. I'd say it's probably fine in the meta. Yeah.
Because I can
see. I liked it a lot.
Same flavor is super, especially with the duplicitous. We don't have any tools in this game to remove the duplicitous. Oh my god! Zermal texted a couple of moments ago that he was going, and maybe he'll come back to the stream later. If he was here, he'd be fuming because he's
he's the DOC guy, isn't he?
Yeah, so he'd be fuming at the anti-duplicitous. So, okay. So Shad, congratulations. This is Belisarius' call, and this is from Checker.
And, yeah, it's just Chica's card, isn't it?
And this is revenge. So, guys, listen to this. This card is a revenge card. As you guys know, Shadowland is the fun police, and he hates purples. And guess what he got as a card today from Checker? Well, you're about to find out. Hey, Shad, please.
Yeah, all right, I'll take it. See, this is I know this isn't even Belisarius' call anyway, Chica. I know you're cheating here. This is not supposed to be call. This is supposed to be Arkan Land. All right. Let's see. Belisarius call, legendary Adeptus Mechanicum or Mechanicus Warlord, technically, since we're in the 41st millennium. He's a 240. He has a purple card called The Great Fail. I appreciate that. Screw Primaris. And 2 energy, discover, quote unquote, a new archaeotech vehicle. Well, technically that's a vehicle. I don't know what a vehicle is. And put it in your hand. So that should be put into your hand. Initiative low, makes sense. He is a big boy. The Great Fail is a single-use purple card. It's not like a Reckoning. It says, choose one Astartes, give it +1/+1, reduce its cost by 1 for some Emperor-forsaken reason, and add it to your hand. You know what's funny is because he's a neutral, this probably wouldn't actually even be that OP. Yeah, return this card to your hand at the end of the turn. So you get it every turn, basically. He makes an infinite amount of new bullshit Primaris for you. Very good flavor. Very nice flavor. I get the feeling the part I'm going to take issue with is the next part.
Yes.
So yes.
Now
here is when all the purples come in. It's worth noting, though, these aren't really purples. These are more like components of a Kazakus-style Hearthstone card. So technically, it's not really the same thing. It's still very big and complicated, but for a legendary sort of landmark hallmark card, it's not the worst thing in the world. I do take issue with the fact this is very clearly meant to be Arkan Land, though. Anyway, so yeah, you get to make a vehicle, essentially. He quote unquote discovers it, because you don't invent new things in the Mechanicus anymore. You only dig them out of the ground, and that's totally what Cole does, by the way, guys. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, so you get to choose between making a land speeder, a land crawler, or a land raider, the 3 lands vehicles that Arkan Land invented and discovered, not Call. So
okay,
God,
let's begin.
So
land speeder base. Land speeder
yeah,
base.
It's a 3/3 flank. Yeah.
Mars land
speeder makes sense.
Pattern.
It's fast. Yeah, so it makes sense. It's fast, and then once you've discovered whether to choose a land speeder, you can then add Mars pattern to it, which gives it shield. Add tornado, which increases its cost by 1 and gives it cleave 2. So you have a 4 energy 3/3 with cleave 2 with flank as well. Very strong. Or the Typhoon pattern, which has add rally, deal 2 damage to all enemies. So that turns it into like a mini Verklosh Whirlwind. That's very strong there as well. Then you have the Land Crawlers, which, let's see, where's the default Land Crawler base? Here we are. It's a 5 energy 5/5 with Unstoppable. And in this case, it's not representing it flying, obviously. It's representing simply the fact that it is a agricultural vehicle that was incredibly reliable, so it's just impossible to stop, essentially. Makes sense. I like the flavor there. Mars pattern turns it into a little mini gun platform, so it gets an active ability, deal 4 damage to an enemy and 2 to adjacent units. Icarus pattern, add shield and relentless, deal 1 damage to 3 random enemies, so that's kind of like a little Helios mortar carrier. Phosphine pattern, add poisonous 2 and resolution, heal 2. That's interesting as well. One issue I take with that is since it's an agricultural vehicle, it probably shouldn't have had equal stats. It should have been more tougher than it is capable of attacking, so like a 3/6 or something. And then the final choice is a Land Raider, the big heavy one. So 7 energy, 7/7 with frontline. Makes sense. It's an APC, well, a very heavily armored one. You can choose the Phobos pattern, which is the default las cannon version. Rally gives shield to adjacent, which that should be adjacent, obviously. Gives them shield. So, yeah, that's a protective troop carrier. Then you have Proteus, which is add Rally and Relentless, reduce the costs of Mechanicum troops in your hand. So, I don't think I understand the flavor of that one. The Proteus was an old original version that was used for, like, recon. I suppose before it was a marine vehicle, it was used for, like, colony exploration. All that. It was basically a lunar rover.
Proteus is the one you pay $180 for. So,
well, that's not true. Forge will make one that's only slightly less extortionate now. But yeah, Spartan, and that's the big heavy one, which isn't actually the same chassis. So flavor fail. No, it's fine. It does increase the cost by 2, so I suppose that's fair. Add Backlash, put in play Mechanicum troop from your deck, and give it frontline. So that's basically turns it into desperate defense. Is that all of them? Yeah, that is all of them. So, yeah, I kind of get what you're going for here, Chica, but it does feel very complex. There's a lot of options here. The problem is they don't all really solve different issues, would be my way of thinking about it. Like, what you're trying to make here is a toolbox, and instead what we've got is just a lot of generic value in a lot of cases. The speeders are the best out of these because they actually do provide the toolbox options, because they're all like immediate effects, pretty much. One of them is the Verklosh, one of them's the Cleave, one of them's the just the shield. So you have pinpoint damage with the Mars, deal 3, you leave your speeder behind. You have Cleave for the mid-ground of it does a bit of AoE and it's relatively cheap, and then the Typhoon is the heavy duty option. The rest of these do not succeed in that role quite as much. They're all very sort of just random value abilities tacked on that don't feel very flavorful in a lot of cases. But yeah, honestly, like I said, those aren't real purple cards, so I dislike how complex it is, but as a one-off, that is sometimes acceptable for things like Kazakus, and they had a ton of cards like that in Hearthstone. What were the other ones that could like develop things?
There's a lot of things like that now.
Yeah,
so
there were like 3 or 4, weren't there?
Don't go down that rabbit hole, chat. Just don't.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I've been talking about this for about 3-4 minutes straight. So by all means, go ahead, Teach.
I have nothing to add except the fact that I think we did forget, and that's kind of my fault. He also added separate pictures for each one later, and I think,
very nice.
Yeah, but I think we didn't check that. So sorry, checker, for that. Also, Nope says Call is an honest tech priest, you slanderer. So. Okay. All right. Moving on. I'm not saying anything about this. Was your burden to compare, Shad. So
all right.
Moving to the next one. Ooh, Iskandar Kaon. Can we please get an Iskandar Kaon in friggin' Warpforge? So yeah, I wish. But I mean normal Iskandar Kaon, because the current one that we have sucks.
Yeah.
Thick.
I was going to say, didn't they make some like random original character Raptor instead of using Iskandar Kaon? I don't understand.
No, they used the Iskandar's art, but it's a trashy card. Anyway, yeah, let's see what this one is. I think this is. I don't remember from whom this is, but anyway, 10 energy, 7/7. Sons of Horus, well, supposed to be Black Legion, I guess. Deck building. Your deck may only contain Thousand Suns tactics and Sons of Horus troops. That's so interesting. Look at that. So you essentially combine 2 factions. So he starts with 2 psychic energy and give +1/+1 to Iskandar Kaon when you trigger Spear Tip, wherever he is. So essentially, when you have this in your deck, whenever you trigger Spear Tip, Iskandar Kaon is getting buffed and buffed. And when you play him, rally deal damage equal to this troop's attack divided amongst all enemies. God damn. It's a little bit overloaded, but I have to say it's a very interesting thing. So it allows you to play a very original deck, and it also acts as a finisher. So you can build around it quite a bit. Oh God, this is pretty cool. Chad, I think I don't know how you feel about it, but I have to admit I like it, kinda.
I love mixed decks and mixed factions. That's a really cool idea, but this guy, he feels like he should be a warlord, not a troop. Like, that is not something you build a deck around. Like, one random legendary being in your deck, and suddenly everything is switched over to Psychic and Legacy and legendary cards and all that, and, Thousand Sun Tactics and Sons of Horus troops. It just doesn't feel right for one card to influence your deck building like that in such a drastic way. If he was a warlord, it would also be a lot easier to code if he was a warlord, but then you can build a lot more of it in. Also, that rally is kind of nutty.
Maybe if you reduce his attack.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if he was like a 5/5. The psychic energy a bit. You gain psychic energy when you trigger Spear Tip as well. Yeah, see, he should be a warlord. He should be a warlord with Psyker and with that passive. He would be a much better that.
Would be much more interesting for sure.
He's very cool though, yeah. But put him as an epic warlord, he'd be great. Absolutely.
Shad, are you beating somebody up over there? Because from time.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm drinking. Can you hear it? No, sorry.
No. Sometimes we hear like somebody punching something over there. So.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
what that noise is then. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm beating the shit out of people while I'm fighting there.
I'd certainly say definitely would be better as a warlord as well. Pretty interesting design though. Shad, next is Alia. And by the way, we have 2 Alias today. This is the first one, so check it out. Shad.
All right, so we have Alia, or Tanao Alia, Knight Centaura. She is a 5 energy legendary Sister of Silence infantry for 4/5. Few wording things. If you're going to have a first name be Tanao Alia, then it should be Tanao Alia in the left name as well. And Knight Centaura should be capitalized Centaura with a C, with a capital C. But she has Battle Honor, jam a random enemy troop, and Requiem, gain sneak attack until your next turn, and Backlash, create Valerian in your hand. So Valerian is a purple card, and it's her Custodes buddy cop that she was working with in those books. I haven't read them, but I know the basics. He's a 5 energy, 5/7, Battle Honor, give Survivor 1 to a friendly unit. There's a strange comma in there. And he also has Frontline. Let's see. There's a lot of little issues in here. They all feel bitty and random in value, and they don't really do a whole lot. And they're not especially strong either. So Alia is undercosted to justify all the abilities she has, understated rather. But none of the abilities really mean that she'll be any good, because she's just going to be answered or removed as soon as she hits the field, because crap stats, right? The Battle Honor is fine. It's on brand with sisters to have jam. That's their thing. Requiem is strange. That's an unusual inclusion, and I don't know if I really especially like it either, because the Sisters of Silence, the whole thing is being emotionless, soulless blanks. I don't really see why they would especially care if their friends or allies are dying that much, no more than a regular soldier. The Backlash creates Valerian. That's flavorful, kind of, but also not so much, because he's the front line. He's supposed to stand in the way. So, yeah.
There's one small problem here, guys, with Valerian. It says give survivor to a friendly unit, Battle Honor. I'm not sure if, once again, EG Spaghetti Code can handle that, giving a choice to give survivor to a friendly unit with Battle Honor.
Oh, no. When you have an ability like that on a triggered ability, then it just defaults to being random. They don't specify in wording.
Okay,
gotcha.
The
wording is fine, yeah. Gotcha. The wording is fine. Also, he doesn't have Sentinel, which is a flavor fail for Custodes. That is their key signature mechanic. There is no Custodes in the game that doesn't have it. So that's an ironclad rule, basically, by GW's terms. So yeah. Overall, no, don't like it. They're fine. There's nothing especially wrong with them, but there's just nothing especially.
Shad being strict once again.
Sorry.
I would say perhaps would be better if first you played Valerian, and perhaps you would get you would get Alia as something that gets played afterwards. Do
I
you
think
remember
the next one. Yeah. I
Do
was
you
going to say there's one
remember?
further on, isn't there, that does the same thing, but it puts them both in play at the same time. So I think I like that better, honestly.
Well, we'll get to that,
We'll
of
get to
course.
that.
But do you
Yeah.
remember Karen Bloodhoof from
Oh yeah.
Hearthstone? This could be
Yeah.
something like that. Like you could play Valerian first, and when you could just remove all the abilities and give it when Valerian dies, it just puts in play Alea. And Alea could just be a 5 energy 4/5 because at that point it's just great value, right? So
I don't know. I just like having them both because that was their dynamic. They were a buddy cop duo. That was the fun of that
yeah,
trilogy.
that does make
Basically,
sense.
they
Yeah.
should both be there at the same time.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah, that's
What the hell?
all right. Oh, I think we're back to the memes now. Is this one yours?
She could discipline me any day. So, all right. So, Commissar Lilith. So, Commissar Lilith Hesperax, right? 4 energy, 3/4. Imperial Army. Flank, first strike. Adjacent Imperial Army infantry troops have +1/+1. Enjoy the view, monkey. Oh my god. Okay, this is the meme, obviously. Oh god. Frank Knight, hey Teach, I miss your usual Forgecast banter. Hey Frank, we're gonna be having a Forgecast this week. I think the patch is gonna drop. As I mentioned in the community post, if the patch drops, me and BJ are definitely gonna drop a Forgecast, perhaps for Friday or Saturday. Anyway, this is a really nice meme. But now let's move on to the actual thing, which is the Lord of the Unfleshed.
I loved this book when I was a kid. Yeah, keep going.
So when you were a kid?
Yeah, no, I read those books. What was that? He's in the third Ultramarines omnibus book.
I'm not sure if Demonculaba was exactly meant to be read by kids, but anyway.
Oh, I was a weird kid. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so Lord of the Unfleshed, failed offspring of the Demonculaba. Okay, so 5 energy 4/6 Iron Warriors. And 1 energy put in play to Unfleshed. And you basically get Unfleshed, which are 1 energy 1/3. Friendly Unfleshed and Lord of Unfleshed have +1. Ooh, nasty. Okay.
That's great art.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is disturbing, but I like it.
Think of the rabbits, Lenny.
Jesus Christ. I think this is what you get when you demonculaba the female custodians. But anyway, so jokes aside, I think this is actually a pretty interesting card overall. I think if you manage to make this survive, it could become a big problem. However, it's really slow though. It is really slow. It's one of those win more cards, I guess, in a way. You play it, if it survives, it means that you are kind of already winning. But I do like it. I have to say, I like it. Looks pretty good. Before we move to Shad, Frank Knight, I've seen the meta report and I'm about to throw up about that meta report. Anyway, Shad, so what do you think about it? I like it. I gotta say, I like it.
It feels like a waste, honestly. Remembering what this guy was, what he could do, how powerful he was, and all of the abilities he had. Why is he just spawning troops? Don't like it. It just doesn't do anything. Also, this guy should totally be a legendary. This is one that is deserving of legendary status. So yeah.
Oh my god. There's
some interesting stuff going on with the little mini tribal that he's got there, but. You wouldn't do anything with it. You wouldn't put this in any deck. The only thing... It's not even really worth, going through the hoops and the effort of giving it Vantage so you can activate the ability immediately. So, no, I don't like it. This is someone that should have had a Savage trigger. I don't know doing what, maybe putting Unfleshed into play, but active ability doesn't feel like the right flavor.
Could be perhaps better. I do kind of still like it. I don't know why, but kind of does feel alright to me. Okay, Shad. From Orthonal, our favorite little Frenchie. So, Lionel Johnson.
Let's see. Lionel Johnson with his hairline receding. It is a legendary Dark Angel 240. He has his Awakening, which is, I assume, the 40k version of a Reckoning. He has Unstoppable, which normally I dislike when people put Unstoppable on cards randomly, but this guy, it makes perfect sense because of his new ability in the 41st Millennium. You know, he can step through the pseudo webway or whatever it is. And his ability is 1 energy, choose 1 Defenders of Caliban Astartes and add it to your hand. It now belongs to Dark Angels and a random wing. That could be worded better. That should probably be it is Dark Angels and has a random wing or something like that. But it's not a big deal. I like the flavor behind it, though. So it's
Absolutely.
card value, generated, of course. Some people would say that normally that should cost 2, but like generator warlords are usually kind of crap, so I think 1's pretty fair for that, especially since you're losing out on potential synergy since they're from a different faction. His awakening is Lionel Johnson becomes the Unforgiving Knight. It's a 14 energy at the start, and it lowers the cost by 2 when an effect which requires a wing is triggered. Okay, so the Unforgiving Knight, he
Nice
turns
art.
into a 340. It's very nice art. He still stays unstoppable. He has Resolution. If you control a troop from each wing, gain +1 attack. 1 energy, gain Quest. Put in play 1 champion of the order. It belongs to a random wing you don't control. That quest seems kind of weak, and also the resolution is kind of randomized because a lot of the troops with wings you're going to be getting they get it randomly from your previous ability, so I'm not entirely sure about that. It feels kind of weak and a bit RNG.
I do like the base one, though. I like the base lion that he's got there. Pretty good flavor for sure.
It's good flavor, but is it good mechanics? Yeah, it's good flavor, but is it good mechanics? And I don't think it is, really. It's just a generator warlord. Sorry.
In general, I've grown to dislike that kind of mechanics, but that's EG's fault because mostly when they release a new warlord, it's always, add a unit to your hand and reduce the cost, and they're 2 weeks in, nerf it, and now it doesn't reduce the cost anymore. Yay! So it's like I guess it's kind of rubbing us in a wrong way. Though I do like the whole idea of his unstoppable because of his new ability.
Yes,
as well as him creating Defenders of Caliban Astartes, because, who doesn't love Defenders of Caliban?
Yeah, it's all right. It's just, again, nothing especially great about it, apart from a bit of flavor here and there, which is good, but, and the art's lovely, actually.
Yeah. Absolutely. Moving on. Cipher. Oh, what a surprise. Of course we get a Cipher. There's a couple of Ciphers, actually. So, Voice of the Emperor. So, 2 energy, not 2 energy, Jesus. 230, Legendary Warlord. 2 energy, put in play 1 Cultist Acolyte and give it 0+1. Next time, gain Stealth. Okay.
Hang on. I'm looking up what a Cultist Acolyte is. I always get the cards mixed up.
Cultist Acolyte, I believe, is the 2/2 that when sacrificed deals 2 damage to the enemy warlord. I think that's the Acolyte.
Sounds about right. I'll just check. But yeah, you keep going, man.
It kind of does make sense, to be fair. I like that it plays a cultist and you're playing a Defenders of Caliban warlord. And it goes into stealth afterwards, so it also has a defensive ability, which is nice because that means he doesn't just spam the troop, and he also has a defensive ability because he got 30 HP. But they changed stealth in Horus Heresy Legions. Yeah, that's right. I was about to say you can permanently stay stealth, but then I remembered that it only lasts for 1 turn now, which is good actually. So. But you know what? I always say simplicity is a key in a way. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. It would make Cultist Caliban more possible, I guess. I know what you're gonna say though, Shad. You're gonna say that it's legendary and has 30 HP, and I'm gonna in before you on that. But yeah, go ahead. I like it.
Again, it's legendary at 30 HP. That seems strange. To be honest, I don't see who else would be the legendary warlord in the 41st millennium for these guys. So honestly, he probably could be the legendary. I like Cultist Acolytes. Those have a lot of synergy with the DOC mechanics, the self-sacking, all that. It's very cool. Good flavor, of course. Slight formatting thing. His name on the right should be Cipher, and then comma, the voice of the Emperor.
Here's the fun part, Chad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Before you even said that, Little Grey Dog already in before you. Name doesn't match normal formatting.
See, people are learning. Yeah, consistency is key.
I know, right?
He's getting me, right? But yeah, no. It's sometimes simplicity is good. Yeah. I don't know. Part of Cipher that's iconic is his dual pistols, and it really feels like a shame to not have anything in his abilities or cards that represents that. That would be my issue. But yeah, no, you make him a legendary. Give him a little extra. Maybe his pistols akimbo thing can be his reckoning form. That'd be quite cool. Just going full gunslinger. Spends most of the game getting his people to do all of his jobs or his dirty work for him. Then he just goes completely ape shit at the end. It's high noon. Yeah. He's all right.
We need more meme videos, Tisha. Good laugh is always welcome. This week, guys, I'm more focused on Legion's Warforge and lore content, but next week I'll give you the memes and stuff like that as well. Do not worry.
Anyway, we need to make the Faces the Place for Horus Heresy edition. That'll be a good one.
We definitely need to do that. Didn't we mention we were gonna do that?
No. I just sent you the lyrics one time, didn't I?
Definitely, we're gonna do that. Okay, so
you
next.
Me then. Let's see. Is it me or is it you? Yeah, it's me. Yours. Yeah, Atom Sum. I don't actually know this guy. He is a 235 epic Thousand Suns warlord. He has the Cult of Time. So a few wording thing as well. Atom Sum is centered. That should be on the left. That's just how EG do things. So slight issue there. He has a purple card, Time Flux. Psycho 1, and his active ability is spend 2 psychic energy, look through 3 upper cards of the deck, choose 1, put it on top of the deck, it costs 1 less. Next time, look through 3 cards at the bottom of the deck, choose 1, put it in the second place of the deck. Okay, so that's a little strange and inconsistent there. I would say just make them both put on top, but, it's look at the top 3, look at the bottom 3, that's fine. It's worth noting it doesn't specify what happens to the other cards you look at, so do they stay where they are? That's kind of interesting. I actually like this mechanic in concept. It's very poorly worded, but the actual idea of manipulating the top of the deck is very interesting, and it's not something EG have done before, which leads me to believe that their code can't do it, but, leaving that aside... Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, he also has a purple card, which is Time Flux. Return your last played card to your deck. It costs 3 less. See, normally I don't like cards like this. Also, it's missing the faction symbol, but I don't like cards like this typically because adding something back to your deck doesn't really do anything, and if it has a cost reduction, it makes it very random. It's the same sort of problem Seals have in the Agents of the Sigilite faction. They're very powerful, undercosted cards, but you can't guarantee when you draw them, so it's just like your opponent's just there going, oh, am I going to lose because he top decks 3 OP cards that he shuffled in, or am I going to steamroll him because they're at the bottom of the deck? This guy dodges that problem because he directly manipulates the deck, so you have some control over it. It lessens the RNG, makes it more powerful, but lessens the RNG, which is good. So, yeah, overall, I quite like this.
You know what? Pretty cool as well. Gives me Gwent vibes, and people are saying this is MTG mechanic. So
it is. Yeah.
I think this is
it's Brainstorm or Sensei's Divining Top, whatever you want to call it.
That's pretty cool.
I suppose, hang on, I should go through all of the... People have been yelling at me in the card creation server for not being diligent enough with my spell checking and grammar and all that. So look through, not capitalize. It should also be look at the top 3 cards of your library, or deck. Sorry, they call it deck in Horus Heresy. And then... Honestly, you can skip the look through. You could just simply say choose a card from the top of your library, put it on top of your deck. It costs 1 less, and then the other 2 are just assumed to stay at position 2 and 3. Then next time. Also, there's no. This would be a lot easier if you just didn't make it an alternating ability, because if you just said that the other 2 get shuffled, which solves a lot of other issues as well, then, the deck just gets shuffled each time. You get to choose what your next top deck is. That'd be a lot more... mechanically...
Very interesting. Where'd the chat go?
Interesting mechanic.
Oh, no, he's back. So your voice cut off for a second, chat.
Bugger. It does that sometimes. What did I miss?
People are saying Shad is going to make us the perfect formatters. So...
Eventually. Well, I'm not perfect. Seriously, I started getting back card custom weeks ago, and my god, it is so much more precise than Horus Heresy. I can't even do it. I've been out of the game for too long. I have to double and triple check and go through it all with a fine-tooth comb, and I still screw it up most of the time.
Well, considering I'm not a format freak in this case, I gotta say that I really like this card. This is very interesting. And people, Venerable Castus has also noted that this is a better Oricon, which we have in Warpforge, and I agree. This is the better Oricon, more interesting one. And from a more interesting faction than Necrons, for sure. So, yeah, I totally like this card.
Yeah.
Next
Pretty
is
good.
Poxwalkers. So somebody actually went and made Poxwalkers. The only problem I have with this right now is that the... Okay, this is pretty interesting. When I look at the screen in the...
Holy resolution, Batman.
Yeah, that's the resolution thing. But when I look in the stream window now in OBS, the resolution is better. What the fuck?
That's because it's smaller.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Anyway, yeah, that's a big problem from me because I really hate when that happens. But let's see what it is. 3 energy 2/4 cultist. Every time troop except Poxwalker dies, put copy of Poxwalkers into play. Oh, okay. So this is actually the Rotfly. So whenever something dies, you get more Poxwalkers. Jesus Christ! This is the Rotfly.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Actually, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, I read it initially as a Cerberus style effect, but it's not, is it?
Okay. No, it's a friggin' Rotfly, mate. And it's terrifying.
Yeah, especially with the cultist synergy, that's too strong. Interesting, though.
Forget the frogs, the flies are back, boys, and they're back with a vengeance. Oh my god. And it's 2/4. Well, it doesn't have a poison, at least.
Triggers off your own troops as well, as long as they're not Poxwalkers.
This is going to be too strong, by the way.
Yes.
And you know what I would do? I would just be an absolute asshole, and I would play Cultist Ahriman deck with this, and good luck winning. Because you just drop it and put the precog on it and have fun. This would be so terrifying. Oh my god. Yeah. SMK Gaming is already saying every time another troop dies, put in play Pox, put copy of
he's trying to word it better, and I think he's probably about right. I'd probably say it should be every time a Poxwalker's troop dies, put a copy of put Poxwalkers into play. They don't specify like copy or whatever. Yeah, it should be a 1/3, I reckon. Also, Poxwalkers is centered. It shouldn't be that way. Put it on the left. I also don't see why it's a cultist. Mechanically, flavorfully, they don't really have any connection there. And the name should be Poxwalkers, comma, and then you put something, probably like, I don't know, Shambling Horde, Diseased Horde, something like that. It's fine, but it's too strong, and it's
there's a problem with this, Chad. There's a problem that the guys pointed it out. Why is this a cultist?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Like
it doesn't really make sense. I agree.
Yeah, you could give it maintenance to balance it a little bit or something. Yeah,
because that could work. Yeah, they're like halfway between people and demons, aren't they?
Yeah. Plus, this way you kind of pay for having them on the board as well. You have nothing to play the next turn if they multiply too much. But then you can play it on Lorgar and still shit. So, or Lord of the Flies. Yeah, that would be scary.
Technically, no, you wouldn't, because it's not a demon, so I don't think he'd get the discount, would he?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But to be fair, this should be infantry/demon, shouldn't it? In a way.
Sometimes, yeah, you can go either way with that. The EV aren't very consistent. It's not a place they've really explored, is it? That much?
I guess so. Let's move on then. Oh, look at that! We got the other Demon Kulaba creature, Lord of the Unforced.
Oh. No, that's the same one again.
Oh, that's the same one?
I think, I think you put it in there twice.
That's
fine, I'll skip ahead. So the next one's Malum Kado, I believe.
Okay.
Alright.
Hello, Robodorn.
Alright, Malum Kado, 9 energy, legendary, 8/8. This is the protagonist of the bolt gun game. It is Malum I Kill Evil Kado, second hero of Forge World Graya. So because those are in quotes there, that's an acceptable way to put that on the right hand. So well done with the naming there. It's a bit long though. Maybe you should put second hero of Graya. That would probably do it. But anyway, he is unstoppable, which again is a flavor thing because he is unstoppable. This is basically Doom Guy on steroids. So fair enough, even if he doesn't technically have a jump pack or a method of flight. He has Demon Slayer, which has been formatted like that's supposed to be a keyword. Don't know what that does. It seems to explain what it does anyway. Yeah, did he include a note saying what it does?
No, but it says basically what it is here. Deal 1, 3, and 5 extra damage respectively to enemy chaos demon and greater demons. So whenever
Yeah,
you attack
like
them, you deal extra damage to them.
I assumed as much, but that's my point though. It doesn't need to be keyworded if you write it all on the card. So but yeah, he also has courage, destroy all enemy demons, rally warlord gains, give troops you put in play drop pod and demon slayer. Yeah, so demon slayer is supposed to be some kind of keyword. Maybe he just wrote it out on the card here.
Let me double check it.
Yeah, to demonstrate it.
Let me double check it. I don't wanna end up missing out, so I'm gonna double check it for a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Jay, you continue, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, so what I would say the issue is, obviously this is a very clear meme reference to him absolutely just wrecking the chaotic forces that invaded Graia after the events of Space Marine. But it's very narrow. It doesn't function very well in the game. This is what in Magic the Gathering they call a silver bullet card, that it belongs in sideboards. So this is not a card you put in your normal deck. You have it in your little supplementary side deck, and when you play against someone who has like a demon deck, you go, oh, they're destroying me. I will swap that card out for match 2 and match 3 and put this in because it absolutely demolishes demons. We don't have that in Horus Heresy. Horus Heresy is best of 1 format. It's designed for people to play on the toilet while they're, on their phones, low effort, quick games. They don't have time for best of 3s. They're busy. So, yeah, silver bullet cards basically don't really work in this game. You need to give it something else that it can do. It needs to not lean so heavily into just fucking over one faction, one playstyle, or one deck. And that's what this does. So I don't really know how you change it or fix it, quote unquote. I mean, obviously it's great for what it is. It perfectly represents what happens in the game. It just wouldn't function in an actual mechanical game. Sometimes you have to sacrifice some lore and flavor for mechanics, and this is one of those times. What would I do with him?
Maybe. Well, I checked, and Demon Slayer there's no note. It's what it is. So whatever gets a Demon Slayer deals extra damage to Chaos Demon and greater demons.
So one thing I did to sort of like give a soft punish for demons with the warlords that I designed and submitted to a teacher like ages ago now, Janus, the guy who became the leader of the Grey Knights eventually, the first Grey Knight Grandmaster, he could give can't attack to enemies that he attacked, and demons with their maintenance get really screwed over by can't attacking or by missing a turn in some way because you still have to pay their maintenance costs. So if Malum had some kind of like stun or can't attack effect, that would still be broadly applicable to a lot of different scenarios. I mean, it's always good to have a stall tool, right? But it would really like punish demons a little bit more. So that might be one way to make him flavorfully screw over demons. Or you could have him like lower attack, maybe. That'd be pretty cool because you're getting less value out of the demon, but it's still sticking around. So, yeah.
Igor says this could be a great sideboard card if there was a sideboard. So
yeah, exactly. That is exactly it. It is a sideboard, but we don't have a sideboard, which is a real shame.
Venerable Castus says, courage, destroy the EG servers and the whole world. Yes. Okay.
Justice.
Overall, I like it. It's a pretty cool, flavorful card. Really, really awesome. But yeah, it's a bit of a silver bullet, as you said, only applicable to certain scenarios, though it could be good now because there's a lot of chaos stuff running around with the Quelling of Hope and all that jazz. So, yeah.
Yeah, Lord of Flies on the ladder a lot. That's weird, isn't it?
I know it's not. It's very strong right now, so...
well, I'm maining Janisha Kroll, so I'm just every time I see him now.
You're just smacking. All right.
I was doing it before your video too. I'm not a trendsetter.
Okay, fair enough then. Let's move on.
All right.
Ooh, Juan McCall, Scout Sergeant. 5 energy, 4/3 stealth with sneak attack. Stun and jam attacked enemy troops. Or it should say troops, though it's troop. Battle honor, gain stealth, and survivor 1. Yikes. Well, it's understated, and it's 3 health. I have to note that it's the fact that it's 3 health, it's very good. That is because it's vulnerable to, what do you call it, the Quelling of Hope, as well as a lot of AoE can deal 3 damage. I just think that it's not necessary for it to have the Battle Honor. Also, stun and jam is a little weird because if you first stun the troop and jam, then the stun gets removed.
Well,
So
yeah, no, you're right. That's in the wrong order.
it should be
Jam and
jam and
then
stun.
stun would work. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Also, I actually disagree with your AoE point though. 3, yes, there's the new Chaos one, but overall, AoE typically kind of ends up in like the 1 or 2 spot, doesn't it? So getting 3 to kill him before he can attack, I'd say that's not very common at all. Literally, it's just that 5 energy one that's current. Yeah, no, it's fine, but it just.
I mean, it's all right. Why it would not be too bad. It just has. I just feel like it has potential to become a little toxic on certain warlords, perhaps, like because it can really ramp up. Because once it gets Survivor, just
you know what it is? It's a Raven card in neutral.
yeah, pretty much. That's why it feels a little.
Have the specific answer, or your day is ruined. So yeah, it's fine, but it's just not.
It's certainly
wouldn't
fine
want to see it in the game, to be honest. Also, Scout Sergeant should not have the space there when you have the hyphen in between. They just you just put them together. Yeah, it's fine, but not ideal.
Yeah, and just make sure, guys, that don't do jam and stun because it's just.
Yeah, it's pointless. Well, no, you do still jam the target technically. Yeah, stun and then jam and then stun. Right. Anyway.
Operative Rick.
Hey. 1 energy, 1/3 Alpha Legion. It is an operative, and it has resolution. Change the game to up until end of your next turn. Rally, give this troop to your opponent, and stun it. Love it. No notes. Perfect.
Yeah, it's a perfect card. No,
you know what? Actually, I actually do have a note. This is a flawed and failed design because EG have only got 1 music track in the game, specifically because they don't have room to add any more. So no, you can't do this. Sorry, unacceptable.
And you gotta love how this can be generated, so you could potentially add a lot of those.
Yeah, well, 1 energy, crash the enemy, crash the game. Yeah, I love it.
Oh god.
Oh, and then there's another one to fill up on that, and I assume that is the QR code for Never Gonna Give You Up, but I'm not going to scan that on my phone. So yeah.
When attacking,
someone on stream verify this for us, would you?
Oh my god, yeah, that's.
Yeah, oh, go, yeah, skip it over 12.
Maybe I'm gonna do it. Wait, maybe I can do it. Wait. I'm not sure if I want to do it though. It's gonna take me to Never Gonna Give You Up. I don't wanna.
Hey, knew it. All right, so yeah, shall I keep going with the non-meme one?
Yeah, Son of the Forest.
All right. Let's see then. So Dark Angels, 4 energy, Son of the Forest, tactic. Put in play 6 trees in the fog, each player, and shuffle all troops in play.
By shuffle, it means shuffle their position.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not clear. Maybe that means shuffle them into the... No, if it was shuffle into deck, that'd be too strong. That's a really powerful board wipe. So yeah, you're right. It must be that. That is unclear, though, so that should be better. Yeah, Trees in the Fog are 1 energy, 0/2s with frontline and counterattack, just a structure. So that's interesting. I actually basically made a card identical to this in Iron Warriors ages ago. So, but this makes perfect sense flavor-wise as well.
This is very good.
Well, my only note here, the version I made for the Iron Warriors, it didn't put 6 trees in the fog for each player. It puts 5. And the reason for that is if you don't have a way to destroy your own troops and your opponent doesn't want you to, this basically turns the game off for an aggro deck. I mean, imagine playing this against Raum. If he doesn't have a full board, like that's game over. He can't attack. He can't put any more troops in play. The aggro game plan is gone. Or you put it into play against the Khan, and he can't play his flankers, and he'll never get his reckoning, so that game's over as well. The front line makes sense, but there are ways to build around this. It would be toxic the way it is. It needs to be 5. You need to leave 1 open board slot for your opponent to do things with. Otherwise, yeah, good card. No notes. I like it.
Agreed. I totally think it should be knocked down to 5 so that your opponent has at least 1 slot, as you said. Overall, pretty good card. I love the idea of such a defensive card. And don't forget that your opponent also gets this, which means that you're not face bashing him either until you clear. So yeah, pretty interesting card for sure. Love the design, love the flavor on it, and love the art as well. Vashtor from Vicky Quill, I believe. Vashtor the Archephane, 7 energy, 8/8, demon, maintenance 4, unstoppable. Choose any vehicle that died this game, summon it, and give it flank. It dies at the end of the turn. Ooh.
Mate, you got to remember to switch it to the next card before you start. Yeah, there you go.
Didn't I switch it?
Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, the stream's just lagging. Mind.
Ah.
Cool.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, this is pretty interesting. It's a little slow, but as it is with demons, you essentially get more stats than the cost. But the ability is very interesting. It's not like broken per se because it dies at the end of the turn. However, you could play some interesting backlash troops with this. But here's the
kind of there was what was it? The old fat great unclean one from Legacy mode.
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of similar, wasn't he? Yeah.
The Father of Decay or whatever it's called. This is pretty interesting. I just think shouldn't this be a greater demon?
Sort of, but technically no, because greater demon in Horus Heresy has a specific meaning after all. It means
yeah, that's
this
true.
is something you can get from Marks of Chaos. So
Hmm.
Vashtor doesn't fill those criteria flavor-wise. So I can see why he wouldn't be summoned off that.
You could also summon enemy vehicles.
Yeah,
I like
any vehicle. Yeah, I liked it a lot too. Actually, it has so demons with maintenance often have this problem where they're just not appropriately sat and people will ignore them and go face and all that. Meaning they only ever see play when you can ignore the maintenance. This guy is balanced around it. It actually makes sense because for one, he has on stock. He has. Oh wait, no. Well, he has an active ability that even if your opponent ignores it, they are going to regret ignoring it. So basically,
soft front line.
If yeah, exactly. And he also has unstoppable because he has wings. So well done there. That's another pet peeve of mine, as obviously. Choose any vehicle. I appreciate that you've capitalized it to stress that it gets from your pool and your opponent's pool, but that still shouldn't really be capitalized. But yeah, no, I get why you did it. So fair enough. Won't knock score points off for that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I would probably say it could be 0 energy as well. To be honest, though, the ability,
All right, moving on. Next is your Siege Infantry. Ooh.
Siege Infantry. It's a 5 energy epic Imperial Army infantry with 4/4 stats, and then it says Death Corps of Krieg on the right-hand side. Names don't match. Siege Infantry, Death Corps of Krieg. All right. He has frontline, rally, jam an enemy troop with frontline, and then deal 3 damage to it. See, this is running into the silver bullet thing again that we had with Malum Kado. It's not as bad because lots of decks do run frontline, but not all of them. So, yeah. I would say change that to rally, deal 3 damage to a troop. If it has frontline, jam it. That would probably be what I would suggest. So, like, you still get a very good card. It's like it's slightly crappier. What was it? Corvan squads, the Iron Hands one that rotated to Legacy, and then it has a little extra bonus to screw over frontline. That'd be pretty cool. Also, I don't like the ordnance mechanic, but it does make sense here. So maybe Death Corps of Krieg Siege Infantry should have in ordnance somewhere. It's solid. It would be solid if it was fixed. It has frontline as well, actually, to be fair, so that does improve its power a lot.
Yeah, this would be pretty interesting once again.
Yeah, I don't like it in its current form.
Yeah, it needs a little bit of change, as you said. Maybe if it has a frontline, jam it first and then deal 3 damage to it or something like that would be pretty interesting for sure. The low stats would be justified because of the rally and frontline. So it needs a little work. Other than that, pretty good. Okay. Oh, so we have Zarl. I think it's Zarl, right? With an X.
Yes. Yeah.
First Claw, 10th Company. 4 energy for 3. Return to your deck when damaged in opponent's turn. During opponent's turn, you mean? And Backlash, destroy a random enemy troop. Yikes. So essentially, if your opponent doesn't take it out like with 1 hit, this goes back into your deck. And whenever it basically is removed, it takes something with it. Yeah, this is the only. You know what I think? I think this should be. If you remove the return to your deck when damaged and just leave Backlash, destroy random enemy troop, and make this an epic, I think it would be more interesting. By the way, as the people mentioned, it has terror, so it needs to have terror on the text.
Yeah, I was going to pull that up. Yeah, terror on the banner, but not in the text. Yeah. Zal, the name is centered, should be on the left, but I find that return to deck clause quite interesting. It's actually not a good thing, though. That is a downside. Your opponent realistically doesn't want to kill it. They do want to send it back to your deck, because once it's in your deck, there's no guarantee it's ever coming back. They can literally just face tank it with their Warlord or ping it for 1, and it disappears. I would actually, hot take here, even if it does have terror, like it seems to imply with the banner, I would say this is a weak card. I like it. It's actually quite interesting, but I don't think it's that good. I think this could probably be 3 energy. Yeah, because literally, it's a ping away from sending it back to your deck. Yeah.
I would say maybe just remove that deck part and just leave the backlash. And
but I like the deck though; it's interesting. but it's just
toxic.
Not.
Because even
no, it's not. Because you got to remember, it's no. It says when damaged, which means it has to survive. If your opponent kills it during their turn, then the backlash goes off. But if they damage it, the backlash will not go off. It'll just go straight back into the deck, and you'll never see it again. Or if you do see it, your opponent had to draw a card to get it.
Well, the streamer, the chat is actually asking, but what if it dies due to the damage? Does it still return to your deck?
I would say no, but it's uncertain with Spaghetti Code. Typically, when something dies, you can't have both. Unknown.
I think that's where it decides.
In that case, it's badly worded. But no, the way it's currently worded, I would say no, it doesn't. You either get it back in your deck, or it destroys an enemy troop. You can't have both.
Okay, in that case, it would be a pretty good card. If, however, it goes back whenever even if you remove it, then, yeah.
Even if you did get both, I would still say it's weak simply because of how easy it would be to just face tank it and remove it. Like, imagine playing a 4 energy card that can just be face bashed and it disappears.
Well, that is true. That is true, to be fair.
It's just weak. True. Interesting, but weak.
This is another card that can border from broken as hell to weak with every little change somebody might give it. Yeah, that's the case, I guess. Very well, Shad. Belisarius call again for you.
Ah, for God's sake. All right. Let's see. Oh, another legendary war. It makes, if anyone was going to be the legendary Mechanicus in 40k, it would be Belisarius call now. All right, he's 240 legendary. He has a Primaris Project purple again. You know, it's daring today, aren't we? When you play a friendly Mechanicum troop, give it shield. That's a very strong passive. 2 energy, deal 1 damage to a random enemy 3 times. If any die, refill 1. So that's not actually that OP, because it's worth noting the way it's worded, it says, if any die, refill 1. It doesn't say for each one. So you're only ever going to refill 1 energy from that. It's not going to give you not net positive. Let's see. Primaris Project is a 5 energy purple, says, give your Warlord resolution, create a random Astartes troop in your hand, has +1/+1 and costs 1 less. That's the same effect that Chica had. What's going on here? And that's all it does, so it's generic value. It's good value, though, because all of the 5 energy generator cards are really weak and crap, so, you know, that one's actually somewhat playable. I just don't see what you do with him again. It's the same issue as, like, a lot of the generic value neutrals. They don't push you in a specific direction. I guess you might go with, like, flank troops, but, like, all he's doing is just play more Mechanicum stuff, which is what all Mechanicum warlords do.
Passive is too much.
It is very strong, yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, giving anything passive shield is crazy. Like, you remember how terrible it was with Sotanul when she gave, like, mark to everything, right? This is gonna be, like, around the same level of annoying. Imagine, like, you play a Vorax and it plays with a shield. Like, come on, that's nuts.
Yeah, shield. Yeah, you're right. He is about the same, isn't he? And he even has built-in refill because of Primaris Project, although they won't benefit from the shield ability.
I think shield is a little too much. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's too strong and it's not very interesting.
Kinda. Yeah. Sorry. I don't mean to be like. I don't mean to sound like an ass. That's
you have to be the nice one.
That's Shadowland's job to be an asshole. But I gotta say it's a little bit too strong. But I mean, if you change the passive, it could be more interesting for sure. Okay. Dark Angel for you. Okay. Shad, Dark
This one's
Angel.
yours. Oh, this one's yours, isn't
Oh,
it?
it's not mine. Yeah, you're right. So Dark Angel, the firstborn, final blow. A 1 energy, give -1/-1 to a friendly troop, and trigger.
That's probably meant to be quest.
Oh, okay, I see. And trigger his mission, his quest. If the troop has no quest, give it +1. Oh, okay. So you debuff it and you trigger the quest. But if it doesn't have a quest, then you buff it. And there's also a second warlord, which is Alpha Legionary. Final blow once again. So essentially, both you either get final blow if you play Dark Angel or Alpha Legionary. And for Alpha Legionary, choose a card in your hand, discard it, and add 3 random traps in the enemy deck. Oh, that's actually pretty interesting. But anyway,
Yeah,
first,
cool.
final blow. Your warlord becomes Cipher, Lord of the Fallen. Destroy all friendly troops and fill your board with random 3/4 cost Defenders of Caliban Astartes. Give Disorient and Berserk to all troops until the end of your turn. And Cipher, Lord of the Fallen, is Traitor, Alpha Legionary, or Dark Angel. Oh, so basically, yeah, that makes sense. So either it's you get it from Alpha Legionary or Dark Angel. And abilities to gain stealth and receive 2 damage. If your board is full, you receive no damage from this ability. You know what I'm going to say right away? Just scrap like everything in this friggin' submission. Leave the Alpha Legionary to 35. Ditch the final blow. You don't need it. Choose a card, discard and add 3 traps in your enemy's deck. It's already an interesting submission for me. I think that would make a very interesting, though at the same time possibly toxic warlord, because you're discarding a card, but you're getting great value from it. Kind of reminds me of the Warlock. I just think that all of the other stuff is just unnecessarily there. What do you think, Shad?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. There's a lot of weirdness going on here. The Dark Angel Warlord is quite interesting too. It's a bit generic, but quest synergy, the way it all interacts, it's fine. It just the Cipher stuff feels very tacked on. I agree with you there, and it's also Final Blow itself is also a cool card by itself, but it doesn't. Don't make it a purple. Just like combining Disorient and Berserk like that is a really fun place that EG haven't really messed around with yet. So absolutely, it's a cool idea. You have to attack, but God knows where it's going to go. That's pretty cool. But yeah, all of these cards should have been separate entries, probably, except for Cipher, Lord of the Fallen. That's just not good. That one. That's
yeah.
I don't like that design at all. But the other 3 are all good. I would like to see all of those in the game. Actually, honestly,
you gotta love the mindfuck.
Maybe not Final Blow. Yeah. Which one? Sorry.
Lord
Commander Rob. Okay.
Before you get there, you just gotta.
Oh, sorry, you want something else, were you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta love the mindfuck that is here.
Which one?
Is the fact that this is Defenders of Caliban, both, but at the same time, it's a Dark Angel, and that totally implies it's an Alpha Legionary. Then there's honestly, there's so much cool flavor, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Is there lore that I'm unaware of? Cipher masquerading as an Alpha Legionnaire more than usual? I mean, I know he likes to hide his identity, but was he known for being an Alpha Legionnaire sometimes?
The whole thing is once again, it's a lot of mindfuckery there, with Alpha Legion and all of that. But at the same time, I like the whole thing. But as I said, I would have loved these 2 warlords as separate warlords. Anyway, moving on. What the? Oh, okay, this is yours.
Memes. All right, Lord Commander Rob. A purple card, a sly tactic. Put in play 1 Roboute Guilliman and give it frontline. Lord Commander Rob has an inspirational pick to slay marble.
By the way, 1 second, Shad, I'm very sorry.
Give me one moment. Are these in the wrong order?
No. The guys are texting that perhaps there's a keyword for a traitor that I missed. So
that's a good point. Yeah, right. Well, I'm assuming that's just something of I'm assuming that just means that you play different.
Okay, so let's check. Traitor, when you're building a deck, yeah, it is. You can choose Alpha Legion or Dark Angels cards, and you can include cards for that Legion. My fault.
Called it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and if you have 15 cards, you stay as Cipher, and you always choose 5. Oh, that's actually pretty interesting.
There's another thing they pointed out. Even though he's Dark Angel, he is Defenders of Caliban, and there's no quest or mission. So in that case, I have no fucking clue what he's supposed to be then. Yeah, no, you know what? All right, we're just we were giving you too much benefit of the doubt. Take this one back to the drawing board, scrap it, try again. Because Dark Angels, yeah, it's not. It's called Dark Angel, but it's not a Dark Angel, and it has mission that maybe should be quest, but they don't have quest, so we don't know. We're sorry, we don't know what this card is trying to say.
Okay, Shad, just then Lord Commander Rob.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, we were on the purple memes, weren't we? So Sly Marbo played Russian Roulette, bolt revolver 6 times and won. I'm just imagining the scene out of You Don't Mess with the Zohan where he catches the bullet with his teeth. So yeah, probably. Permanently stun all non-Sly Marbo units. Very fun, very fun. The fastest way to one's heart is with Sly Marbo's blade, deal 20 damage.
Oh my god.
Seems balanced. Sly Marbo threw a grenade and killed 5 Dark Apostles, then it exploded. Destroy 5 random non-Sly Marbo enemy troops, then deal 5 damage to all enemies. Shout out to this guy, he's clearly watched and frequented the 1D4 Chan wiki before it died. So, yeah, well done. And Roboute Guilliman.
Now, this is the
Is this
real
the
one.
guy that's... This is the real one. This isn't supposed to interact with the Sly Marbo stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. That is some amazing art. Where did you... That is very cool. Yeah, Roboute Guilliman, Lord Commander. He has Possession, which is his purple card. His Reckoning, rather. He also has Sentenced 1, like permanently. That's interesting. When a theoretical is added to your hand, add a practical to your hand and reduce its cost by 1. And then his active ability is 1 energy. When you play a tactic this turn, refill 1. That's dangerous. Also, he's a 340 by default. Normally, I'd assume that was an error, but because you've built him with the Sentenced 1, that actually seems kind of fair. So, yeah. But yeah, that active ability is dangerous as hell. That's just asking for trouble. Possession is 33 energy. The Emperor possesses Guilliman, gains 6 psychic energy, costs 1 less when Guilliman takes damage. I know he has Sentence, which will help with that, but realistically, that's going to be very difficult to achieve. I mean, we have
costly.
We have Magnus's version, and that's only 25, and he's usually almost dead by the time he gets that. So I don't see how you're going to get that on Guilliman. I suppose maybe like build a shit ton of healing. What's the Reckoning form that you unlock if you somehow manage to accomplish that? He is still a 340. He loses the Sentence, which is nice. Gains Ward instead. Psycho 4 and an active ability 7 Psychic, which notably will not be ready the turn that you transform because you only gain 6. And it says deal 2 to 5 damage to all enemies. So that's a strong active, but you won't be able to use it immediately. There's a lot of interesting things going on here, but I don't really think it works. Roboute Guilliman's active ability, coupled with his passive, that just seems like he's going to do a ridiculous miracle rogue sort of barrage of tactics, which is an interesting gameplay style to go with, but I don't... It's very hard to guess whether it would be broken, but I think it would be.
It's bordering like something about it being broken, in sense of the active ability, as you said. But at the same time, it's also underpowered because the Reckoning is basically unplayable. And even if you play it, there's no instant value because you cannot cast it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, this is actually kind of a return to how they used Reckonings, which was, EG's original version was you don't just randomly... You're not just going to get a Reckoning form by playing a normal deck and just happening over the course of the game. You had to build around it and try and work for it as a different gameplay style. So that's kind of, I suppose, what this is. Problem is, I don't think it's worth building for because it's just not that impressive. But the main base form is quite interesting.
So there is the Sentence that is meant to, I guess, it's just meant to be a downside for the strong ability as well as 3 attack.
Yeah, it's messy, but it's got some interesting ideas. So whoever made this one, keep submitting. There's some very interesting stuff you've got in your head there. It just needs a bit more polish.
Absolutely, I'm with you with that one, Shad. Yeah, nothing much to add there. Very interesting, a little messy, but for sure, very, very interesting. The Cindry, oh my god. Cindry! 2 energy, give an enemy troop berserk, and when attacking, choose target randomly until the end of this turn. Oh my god. And then there's also the purple Cindry. Make a friendly troop attack enemy warlord by itself until it dies. Your warlord get what the fuck? Okay, bonus points for the Dawn of War joke, man.
Honestly, mate, yeah, I really like this.
and I love the whole Cindry.
Metal
Oh my
boxes.
Metal boxes.
Yeah. God damn, that was a good voice. It doesn't really do a deck build is the problem, but like mechanically and flavorfully, there's some really stuff going on there. Honestly, I feel like this guy shouldn't be a warlord, and I think that would fit better anyway because he wasn't the warlord; he was the power behind the throne, wasn't he? He should be a troop with that rally. You know, where rally give all enemy troops berserk, and when attacking choose target randomly or something like that. I don't think you need to do when attacking choose target randomly. You can just give them disorient, can't you? I'm pretty certain that's the same effect these days.
Yeah.
Unless, no, actually, well, maybe what he choose target randomly there is different from disorient in that it's random, but it can still only attack legal targets, so it won't hit friendly troops. Which is less broken. Mm. That might be what he meant.
This is a meme, though. This was submitted as a meme, so.
Well, it's a good meme. I mean, we've been through this
meme.
before. Often the memes are better.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, there's the other Alia.
Yeah. So is this one yours or mine? Because I think
I'm
not sure. I think it's still you, isn't it? Because you just did the meme.
Yes.
Okay.
So Taneo Alia once again, Oblivion Knight Centura, 9 energy, 8/4, terror. Fast, Battle Honor can gain 1 health and can act once more this turn. And Rally put Valerian in play. So this is a Raptor Guard, basically. How much does Raptor Guard cost again? 9 or 10?
10.
10. So this is a Raptor Guard without the healing. A little lower stats. And Valerian is 9 energy, 5/8. A Rally, put Taneo Alia in play. First strike, Sentinel. Oh, there you go. There's the Sentinel. Battle Honor, create in your hand a random Legio Custodes tactic. It costs 1 less. So the thing that I like about this, Shad, is that you can either have this on Custodes or on Sisters. But if you're playing Custodes, you get you summon it through Valerian. And with Sisters, you summon it through Alia.
Yeah, I love that aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty strong, for sure.
I think that's an understatement. This thing is busted as hell. This is the most ridiculously OP card we've had. This expansion.
I gotta be honest as well. This is too much.
Jesus Christ, it's cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on, but this captures the body cop mechanic a lot better than the previous one. But yeah, holy shit, tone it down a bit.
What if you remove the fast from Alia?
Yes, that would actually be a lot better because it would actually. Oh, I was going to say Valerian should have frontline, but he doesn't, does he? That was the other one. Take away the fast from now and give Valerian the frontline, and that's a lot more interactive while still having synergy because he's protecting her so she can do her disgusting Raptor Guard thing if she survives a turn.
Mm-hmm.
The Battle Honor is also kind of disgusting as well. You don't need that. Just having a 9 energy 8/4 terror that sticks on the field is not fun to play against. That's no one likes Sex Demon. Do you want to give Sex Demon that also has built-in what was it called? Fierce Onslaught? Yeah, no one wants that. Yeah. Get rid of that. But yeah, there's some cool stuff there. What was I going to say? There's a few formatting issues as well. Let's see, what was there? Tanao. The +0, +1. That the way EG format that they put the plus in front of the real number, they don't put it in front of those. So it would be 0/+1. Can act once more. Terror, fast. You should have a comma in between terror and fast, and technically. Then Valerian, it's mostly fine. Commas in between the keywords again. The Battle Honor feels a bit random and tacked on as well. I would just say replace the Battle Honor with frontline, and it's fine. He probably doesn't need the first strike either, to be honest. I like it. Otherwise,
Little Grey Hawk made a good point. Can't wait to play her from White Scars Epic, like Solomon Khan. Jesus Christ, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, if you took away and all of that other strangeness, that would probably be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It should not have fast, and it would be much better.
Yeah, no. Or that battle honor. Get rid of that battle honor as well, actually.
Absolutely. Oh, we went to Liskian's card, Rapturous Voice. Let's go.
All right. Is that me? Yeah, so Rapturous Voice, a Warlord, a 135 pick, not 235, which is interesting. A purple, let the song begin. Resolution, disorient a random enemy without disorient. If there are no targets, gain precognition until your next turn instead. Interesting. I like modular abilities like that. Very high initiative. That feels a little strange, but then Slanesh are very quick and, high initiative with that sort of thing, so it may be. Where's the... I don't see let the song begin, so I think maybe he changed his mind on what the song is supposed to be.
Wait. That might be my fault. 1 second.
He may have changed the name as well. There are 2 purples here.
Let me just double check it. There might be a mistake there. Let me see. He texted me a moment ago. Let's see. Oh, okay, it's my fault. I missed it. Let me read it out.
Oh, yeah?
Let the song begin was this. Your Warlord gains +1/+5. It's a 2 energy card. And choose an enemy with Disorient. If it attacks by itself once. Ignore can't attack for this effect. Create louder in your hand.
That one's not here either, so read that one out.
So that's my fault. Then you create louder. They beg for sound. Your 4 energy. Your Warlord gains Relentless. Disorient all enemy that haven't attacked last turn and trigger it as well. So make them attack basically. Create
the fact there are 2. Yeah, I was gonna say the fact there are 2 more purple cards after that one as well, Enshrouded in Cacophony and Everlasting Affection, is like that's turning me off the card, which is a shame because I really like the base form. But yeah, this is like a crap ton too many extra purples going in there. Yeah, that 2 energy one is too strong. 2 energy to heal 5 and gain +1 attack and undo the sort of like penalty that is built into his balance that's not good.
Yeah, it's getting stronger every single turn, and it's getting a little crazy because then it becomes Enshrouded in Cacophony. Your Warlord gains Disorient on enemies, also affect abilities. Enemy with Disorient have Berserk. I think he's memeing you, chat. And I think
no. This looks like it's supposed to be real. It's just like it's a shame, really, because Rapturous Voice is actually quite cool. I just wish it didn't have a purple.
Yeah, Rapturous Voice turns up all the way. Your Warlord gains +1 and gain +1 and enemy kills another enemy unit. Create Grand Finale in your hand and lower its cost by 1 for every enemy that has attacked another enemy this game. Jesus Christ.
These purples are all too complicated and there's too many. Yeah, no, I don't like it. Rapturous Voice is good, but everything beyond that is just damages the card.
I think the base Warlord is amazing. It doesn't really need to let the song begin.
Yep.
Yeah,
and the initiative feels too high as well.
Yeah, this is Liskian's card. He tends to make a lot of purples. I think I think it's interesting, but it's just too strong. Like too much stuff and too easy to perform. But the base Warlord itself, the Rapturous Voice, is really good. It's really good.
I don't normally like 135s, but it actually justifies having that low attack there. So I was quite on it because of the the resolution of the Disorient and all. Purples just ruin it.
Absolutely. We're actually getting to the end, chat, soon. Azrael.
All right. Me, is it? Or you? No, it's you now.
So, Chapter Master Azrael, 235 legendary. Drop Wings. Ooh. 2 energy, deal 2 damage. If the target dies, give +1/+1 to a troop in your hand. So, basically, you're Loken. But you also buff your troops instead of having an extra card. Whenever I see a Warlord having 2 energy, deal 2 damage with higher than 30 HP, I say better Loken, usually. And Drop the Wings is a 4 energy special. Draw a troop from every wing, and give them +2/+2. It costs 1 less. So wording issues there, but I see what it means. So you, for 4 energy, you draw 3 troops and give all of them +2/+2. That's actually pretty nuts, to be honest, and they also cost 1 less.
Well, it's so interesting stuff going on here. So Azrael, well, I'll start from the beginning. The name shouldn't be centered; it should be on the left. he's legendary, and if he's legendary with a reckoning, but I don't think he should be. I think because obviously Lionel Johnson's back now, he's probably supposed to be an epic, so change his rarity down to epic, and it seems right. You don't put the space in between drop wings and the active. The active's interesting. The fact that it's just strictly better than Loken is kind of worrying, though. That's a very powerful active. Maybe change it to deal 2 damage to a target troop, so that it can't, go face. Mm-hmm. That's a good balancing factor there. Drop wings. So it gets you a troop from every wing, but in 40k there are only 2 wings. So yeah,
so
that's interesting.
Parts. Still
basically
strong,
because the dread wing, the storm wing, the fire wing. I mean, there's only 3 Horus Heresy anyway, but even in 40k, the Dreadwings lost. They literally lost the keys, which is hilarious to me. But yeah, you know about that lore, right? You're quite good on 40k lore as well, aren't you? Not just 30k.
Yeah. I'm much better at 30 though. So
yeah, I'm the other way around. I kind of fell into 30k quite late. It's fine. Just a little strong and with a few strange wording issues here and there. Otherwise, I wouldn't hate seeing this in the game.
Same, absolutely, but it needs toning down for sure.
Right. Mine. So I actually know what these keywords are because I saw. I've forgotten which one it was now. One of the little. But he was talking about it in the card chat, and I had to restrain myself from not weighing in on it because it's such a cool idea. But I don't give feedback before the actual contest because that would be cheating, I think. But this is Enforced Law, a 1 energy Imperial Army. Well, it's Adeptus Arbites, essentially, tactic, and it has objective. And the way objective works is they're basically little mini missions. You don't draw them at the start of the game. They just have an effect once you play them. And once you satisfy the effects, you get the reward. He's even made a custom little banner for it, which is quite nice. So it's end 2 turns with an enemy troop affected by stun, can't attack, or jam. And reward seize target. And the reward that you add to your hand after you've completed it is 2 energy, take control of an enemy troop, it loses frontline and is permanently stunned. So that is just awesome. I really, okay, there's a lot of issues with it as well, but I love the flavor and the mechanics and in what he's doing here. There's a lot of interesting things. Part of the problem is the wording on the objective. It says end 2 turns with an enemy troop. It doesn't specify your turns, so that's probably not what he meant. He probably meant end your turn twice, not, because this way you can just stun something on multiple turns. It creates lots of weirdness like that. If a jammed troop survives or can't attack, or if the opponent plays a structure, you just automatically win this. But the flavor of a 2 energy seized target like that, it's essentially hard removal, gets rid of the backlash, takes control of it, and just neuters it for the rest of the game. So yeah, I really like that. That's 4 energy hard removal in neutral. Sorry, 3 energy, but it's very conditional and very slow. If it just had a little bit of development and wording help, this is awesome. This is design space I really like. This could be a whole faction. You could make the Adeptus Arbites into a whole faction around these sort of mechanics, and it would be great.
This is actually pretty interesting also because what I love about it is that you seize the target, but it's permanently stunned. And it doesn't have front line, so you're effectively looking to seize, let's say, something like perhaps the Jubak Star Sight, for example, something that can still give you value, but that's not gonna happen a lot, and your opponent will have chances to play around it and consider that. So it's pretty healthy overall, to be honest.
I think I would put the cost of seize target up to 3 as well, though, because you got to remember the going rate for hard is 5, coupled with the cost of actually playing the mission is 1. So yes, you should be paying under rate because it's delayed and therefore it's not very reactive and you have to work for it. But also it's ignoring backlashes. You're potentially getting extra value off a theft. So yeah, 4 energy seems about right to me for that. And it's neutral, but it probably wouldn't be neutral. It would be Adeptus Arbites if you made this. It's really cool. I like a lot what's going on here.
All right, moving on then. Ooh, my boy. We got Loved Huron. Man, I love Huron. Like, give us Huron as the War Master. Screw Abaddon. I hope they add this guy to Warforged, man. Like, I love this guy. Anyway, and the whole Bad Ab War is cool. Anyway, so Tyrant of Badab, 240. So Imperial Army. Well, I mean, they couldn't really had his chapter there, so makes sense. Or should I say Legion, basically, not chapter, but anyway.
I was going to say, technically, he was taking control of an entire sector, so he would have lots of different neutral factions working with him.
Yeah. On top of that, I mean, the guy was also committing tax fraud, so. Anyway, so Heartburned Black. Friendly infantry have rally, reduce the cost of a random troop in hand by +1. This makes total sense considering that his whole shtick was that he had a lot of Astartes illegally. And his ability shuffle 2 Astartes into your deck and draw an Astartes from your deck. So essentially, when you press it, your Astartes on your board goes into your deck and you draw another one. But here's an interesting thing. You could just draw a card with this if you don't have an Astartes on the board. That's usually how it functions, right? Or if you have one, you just still shuffle one and draw one.
You could also just reword it to create a random Astartes hand and deck. Be a lot quicker and simpler. I think that would only be 2 lines.
Yeah, and
have it function exactly the same, except you're not drawing a card, I suppose, so it would less synergy with Alpha Legion. Yeah.
Venerable Castus just said an endless parade of Astartes, but then again, that's what Huron did, and that's what got him into trouble. Well, not only he also dodged taxes, but that was also the other reason. The guy literally had an endless parade of Astartes, and people were like, "What the heck is this guy doing?" And then they found out that he was actually cheating.
I think it'd be more interesting if his infantry had of Astartes in your hand to encourage you to save them up and actually create an interesting deck style. Right now, he's just generic value, really.
Yeah, that's
good,
for sure.
Good flavor, but generic value. Yeah. He's got purples and stuff, hasn't he? Yeah.
Let's check.
Let's have a look.
22 cost. Luft Huron gives into the Dark Gods. Shuffle a copy of all Astartes you've put in play back into your deck and draw an Astartes from your deck. -1 cost every time you play a troop. -2 cost if it was an Astartes. I like the ability. Essentially, it's like a Book of Magnus. But the problem I have with it, I really don't like this generic thing. Get the cost when you play a troop. It's so easy to do, So it's one of the problems I have it.
Or you could also reword that differently to just be -1 cost each time you play a troop, and then -1 cost whenever you play an Astartes, and they would stack together to reduce by 2.
And then you become
the same thing.
And then he becomes Huron Blackheart, bastard pawn of the Dark Gods.
Great name.
And your Astartes cost 1 less and gain Mark of Chaos when put in play. And 2 energy, create a random legendary Astartes in your hand and draw an Astartes from your deck. Now this is where it's starting to get a little ridiculous. I mean, you don't need to draw when you're already creating legendary Astartes in your hand, and you're also giving the Marks of Chaos and reducing their cost. I think a little too overloaded. What do you say, Shad?
The main problem is he just doesn't do anything again. It's like the same generic value deck like most neutrals are. If you want to make him interesting gameplay style, I don't really know what you do with him. Maybe make him choose an Astartes so you can try and pick the right answer to your current scenario. It would be more interactive. Still wouldn't be a build around though. I don't really know how you make him a build around. Maybe give him a deck building thing that lets him play Astartes in his deck from any faction. That'd be pretty cool. So he's like a little weird alt faction card. Like the whole gimmick is you can mix and match Astartes from any faction ever, but only Astartes. That would be very flavorful for him, wouldn't it? You could do some interesting things. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, moving on. Lucas the Trickster. Okay, go.
All right. Lucas the Trickster, 2 energy, legendary Space Wolf Astartes. He has 3/1 stats. He is named the Jackal Wolf. He has flank and has invulnerable while you control other Astartes. So that's very strong, probably too strong. You should probably be 3 energy with what he currently has, because invulnerable is just really mean, especially with the fact that Space Wolves have ward as one of their mechanics. But also, if you manage to put frontline on him somehow, well, have fun dealing with that. There's some interesting stuff, though. If he had, invulnerable during your turn, that would probably be more fair. Up to 3, like I said, or maybe 4. I don't know. I also kind of feel like there's missing opportunities here, because one of the big famous things about Lucas, which is the favorite thing that I know about him, is he had one of his hearts ripped out and replaced with a stasis grenade. Just as a last little fuck you. That was his big gimmick in the tabletop. Whoever takes him out, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's a shame that it doesn't Backlash reflect. But yeah, no, it's good art.
Yeah, I think it's cheesable. This is the main problem I have with this because of the whole frontline and thing. I think, yeah, if it was invulnerable during your turn only, but had some kind of a backlash with a ramped up cost, it would be super, actually. It has a really good potential, let's say it like that, is what I think. Yeah, would be pretty cool. Would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just needs a little tone
Probably
down.
why. Yeah, I think I'd probably put him as like 6 energy, 2 energy, like 3/1, and flank no invulnerable, but he has backlash, like shuffle a random enemy troop into their deck to represent the stasis grenade. It's like fuck off for a bit. You can come back when you've had your timeout.
Yeah, something like that.
To me.
Something
Actually,
like
return
that,
to
for
hand
sure.
would probably be better. I'd be less toxic. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Right.
Absalom Wraith.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Vindicare
Nice.
Assassin. Exitus Acta Probat. So 2 energy, not 2 energy. Jesus Christ, what's 2 energy? Epic Warlord 235. 2 energy, give stealth and +1/+1 to your troop in hand. To a troop in hand. Okay. And Exitus Acta Probat is 4 energy purple, remove stealth, precognition, ward, and duplicitous from all enemy units. For each unit that had one of these effects, deal 2 damage to the enemy warlord. So if you're playing Defenders of Caliban, well, Zermal, do you feel it, Zermal? Do you feel it? So
Good game.
I think this is I think he did this specifically to spite Zermal. You know what, Chad? I'm gonna go ahead and say I really like this. It's toxic, but it's the type of toxic that I like because the thing is, the ability is really cool. It really punishes you for playing bullshit cards, and it's really cool. But there is one problem, and it's only one-time usage, so there's the thing. But there's one little problem I have it. The ability that you have, the stealth and +1/+1, might be a little too scary, because that means you could give it to some very powerful neutrals, like for example the Forge Master and things like that. I think remove the +1/+1 and just leave it at stealth, and we could have an interesting thing there for sure, because it's still a neutral warlord, Imperial Army. It's still slow. It doesn't have like any crazy removal or something. It really has to capitalize on hitting the correct troops with this. Plus it's a random troop, right? So it doesn't say choose. So
yeah,
overall, I think it's quite all right. Toxic, but I think it's quite all right. What do you say?
Yeah, no, this is the first warlord that we've had really that actually kind of fulfills the purpose of a warlord in this game. It is a build around. It creates something interesting and unique to construct your deck around, because you would give this to like a Helios Mortar Carrier or like a Doombringer or whatever. Point is, it incentivizes you to use weird cards that have really powerful abilities but are just not worth it because they die before they can use their abilities and leverage them. The stealth protects them in this way. I don't know if it would be enough, is the thing, because I don't know if that style of gameplay would be better than just running the standard neutral values and doing that. But it's a very cool idea. I feel like you should probably have like First Strike or something as well to represent the sniping, and I don't especially like the purple. So it's flavorful, and I do like what it's doing in some respects, but I just find it's a bit I don't know, it's very feast or famine again, which is the problem with all of these like anti-stealth cards, the silver bullet cards. They either blow your opponent out of the water, or they're useless, they're dead in your hand. So the way I like to construct silver bullet cards usually is I will have them have a good effect if your opponent has the thing that you're trying to counter, but it'll have a it'll have a a consolation prize of a second mechanic if your opponent doesn't have that effect. So I would have Exitus Acta Probat be something like remove stealth, precognition, ward, and duplicitous from all enemy units. If they didn't have any of these keywords, deal 2 damage to them, or something like that. So like it's an AoE, or it's anti-stealth or whatever. So it functions. You're always getting something out of it. It's just more efficient against the actual thing. But yeah, no, this is an interesting one. This is the best warlord we've had, I'd say.
Absolutely.
This one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Like it a lot.
Yeah.
Lord Cipher, once again. Lord Cipher, Lord of the Fallen, is yours, Shad. Look at that
Right.
art, though,
So
man.
I know, spectacular, isn't it?
Absolutely spectacular.
All right, that is a
This is Zermal's card,
230.
by the way.
Oh, okay, here we go then. This is a 230 epic lord, so dubious there already. It's not filling the right health totals, but it is Lord Cipher, Lord of the Fallen. He has a purple card, the voice, and 2 energy, deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy units. Next time, draw a tactic and gain stealth. So it's a very powerful active, which may be why he constructed him with 30 health. The purple is 3 energy, choose a troop in the enemy hand. When it is put in play, deal 5 damage to it and create a copy in your hand. So I'm not usually a fan of random purples like this because they just feel a bit tacked on. It only does one thing. I kind of get the flavor of what it's going for, but it doesn't feel like it's referencing any particular momentous, pivotal moment of Cipher's history or lore. It's just his generic ability to like turn people to his cause. So that'd be better as like a repeatable effect. Again, this is doing the guns akimbo thing I was talking previous Lord Cipher cards, though, so he actually feels like he's a gunslinger with 2 pistols here, so well done on that at least. But that is very strong. That's like budget, that's discount Kroger right there, but not without the siege, so yeah.
That's
but then 30 health.
Though.
Yeah. So in this case, that's actually probably appropriately balanced. I don't know. I don't especially like the purple, but I do like the active.
I do like it. I think it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think this is the best Cipher we've got today. So I kind of like it because it does really give an interesting mechanic to it. All of them played around with stealth, and this one I think is really good. I think even if you would remove draw a tactic, it would be a little better. Because it will deal damage, stealth. That would be pretty powerful. And you could build like a burst Cipher around it. But then again, you could also do it in a control-y fashion because it has removal and voice is also there. So yeah, pretty scary. I like it. It has a lot of potential. Potential to be very obnoxious as well, though, but pretty cool.
Oh, sorry. Yubel asked something about feast or famine. So Greyhawk explained it well, yeah. But basically, like the most extreme example, I suppose, would be, let's say there was a card that said when your opponent has a full board and you have a full board, deal 30 damage to the enemy warlord. Like, that's very powerful if your opponent has that exact board state and you have that exact board state. But otherwise, it does nothing. So that's feast or famine. You either get massive value out of it or just fuck all. And as a result, it either swings the game massively or it does nothing, and it just feels bad. That's not good design. Typically, it's games just it makes you feel like everything that happened up to that point was pointless, because your opponent just suddenly fulfilled these conditions out of nowhere and just won the game. It's the same problem behind like infinite damage combos or infinite mana combos in Magic the Gathering. Like they just invalidate the entire game that took place for like an hour before that. All right, sorry, slight tangent.
All right.
Decimus. You next? Yeah.
That would be me, I believe. Decimus, Prophet. Nice. So he's a Night Lord. Did you notice that this is the first Night Lord we got today?
Oh yeah.
No,
how
second
come no
one.
One's,
second one.
How come
Zarl.
No one's been doing like?
Zarl.
Yeah. How come no one's been doing that? What's he called? Talos. I love Talos. He's got his own omnibus and everything.
I'm also surprised there's no Krieg Ackerbus, but nobody likes Krieg Ackerbus, so that also makes sense.
I don't know who that is, so yeah.
Okay, so 235, so epic correct stats, nice art, probably from Disharmonia. She does really good Night Lord's art. When a friendly troop triggers murder, heal 2. 2 energy, give frontline to a friendly troop until your next turn. So basically this is a warlord that's basically very protective. It heals, it gives frontline to your units, so this is a very un-Night Lordy type of gameplay, but then again, if you think about it, it would make it very interesting, because as simple as it is, it gives Night Lords a very different type of gameplay, not an aggro one per se, but one where the warlord perhaps wishes to drag on until the late game, though at the same time, it could also still be played as aggro because murder would heal it and make it like do more positive trades. You know what I think is a problem with this? I think the problem with this is that it's meant to apparently be a control warlord, but people are gonna play it as aggro.
Yep. I was about to say the active is too expensive. It basically doesn't exist. Like this will be played as an aggro wall because it's a wall without an active ability. You can't pay 2 energy to give frontline. And it's not even permanent frontline either. It's no. If it was a 0 energy active, that'd be a lot better. But yeah, you just play it as aggro. You'd face bash and you'd go, haha, I'm healing off doing my thing that I usually do, deleting all of your troops. Have fun with that, and you just win. So yeah, it would be played like Savitar. It wouldn't play any differently. Which is a shame, because I get what they're going for. It just doesn't really work.
Exactly my point.
Yeah. How would you fix that? Like to make a control Night Lordy Warlord?
I would say, first of all, make that frontline 0.
Yeah, that's a good start.
And instead of when you're triggering murder heal 2, which every single one of your troops does, you could say whenever a friendly troop dies, a friendly troop with frontline dies, heal 2.
No, just make it anything. I like that, because then you're doing the whole like throwing in hordes of crap. You could play like displaced civilians just for a heal.
Then make a
That's
heal
great.
1.
And yeah, and you could use the murder stuff. Yeah, no, heal 1 and whenever any troop dies. That's a cool passive. With a I would like that. That would be an interesting card. It might run into the same issues of just people just go, lol, I'll play aggro anyway because the extra life is nice. But I think it would have more mileage as a control deck as well.
Absolutely, because this way people are just going to abuse it for aggro. That's it.
Yeah. Also, it looks like this guy's made his in PowerPoint rather than Photoshop rather than car create.
Yep. And
finally, do that.
Let's move on to
Last
the final one. Karo Khan from Igor, I believe. Let's
go.
Karo
Khan, Master of the Hunt, 235, Epic White Scars Warlord. Has Savage, return adjacent troops to your hand, and 2 energy, give flank to adjacent troops, can act again. So that's a very hit and run style sort of thing. I worry that will probably end up doing some very degenerate, like, OTK things, but it's more interesting than the current White Scars Warlord we have. Not that that's a high bar.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this is pretty good, because this is the better Sarin.
Well, kind of, no, because the Savage is very bad tempo, technically.
It's pretty annoying, though.
I don't even know if it would be good, but it's interesting. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's not bad.
You know what you could do? You could, people are saying that right away. Fast spam. So fast face bash with fast, attack, return it. Face bash again, attack, return it. But I do like it, to be honest. It's obnoxious and toxic, but at least it's good, I would say.
It feels a lot fairer than the old what was his name? The one that did the really obnoxious OTK deck.
King Ka.
Kinza. It feels a lot better than him. It feels a lot fairer.
Better than Jiangsai as well, because Jiangsai OTK was not good either. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
It just improves on the design on what EG has right now. I like it.
I think that's the last one, isn't it?
Yeah. I do believe that is the thing. Shall we?
Right. Yeah, looking through. Do you have a shortlist in mind?
Yes. But let's now start from you usually start from number 1, right?
Well, I'm trying to find a shortlist first. I'm thinking.
I have my places for number 1.
Oh yeah?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, I'm still thinking. What do you have in mind?
Lilith Hesperix. Okay, no.
Kuma.
Okay. Anyway, so first of all, I have to say one of my favorites today for sure is the Absalom Wraith. That's one of my favorites.
Ooh, interesting. I was leaning towards that for first place as well. Okay.
Enforced Law also really good.
Yes, I like that as well. It's got a lot of issues, but that need to be worked out. But that's some really cool design space. All right.
I have some others that I really like, but for first place, Okay, let me just not say first place. Let's just say the ones that I really love. I
Yeah,
love the Enforced Law.
Yeah.
I love the Absalom Wraith.
Mm-hmm.
I also have to say I like Son of the Forest, though it needs a little work.
Yeah, cool design space, but yes, yeah. Well, to be fair though, all the cards that
Need a little bit.
I like a lot of what's going on in here, but we literally I don't think there's been a single card that has been like no notes this entire contest. So 40k obviously makes people go a bit apeshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
with really weird and interesting, but therefore difficult to design ideas.
I like Zermal's Lord Cipher as well. I gotta say, still pretty cool. Maybe not for first place, but pretty cool.
It's all right. It's just, the only thing it's kind of got going for it is the Guns Akimbo thing. The purple card kind of falls flat.
Maybe also interesting with Atum Sum, Cult of Time.
Oh yeah, he wasn't bad, was he?
Nope, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, quite like that. What else was there? Anything else?
Also
I quite like Boreas. Yeah, I was about to say Boreas. Yeah, I like Boreas too.
Read my mind.
He's a bit strong, is the thing again though. Again, none of these cards are flawless, but they all have like good ideas in them. So
Kosaro's also pretty cool.
Yeah, kinda. He's kind of hard to evaluate. I don't even think he'd be good because of like it's so much tempo loss. Yes, you can do like free damage and bounce things back, but he doesn't discount anything. But kudos for actually designing a White Scars Warlord that isn't boring as hell.
What about Vashtor?
He's all right. He's a bit random.
Hmm.
He's fine, I guess. Like he's not. To be fair, there's nothing wrong with him except for technically the slight capitalization thing. But I know why he did that. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not especially. It doesn't spark joy.
There's a lot of nice ones, but these are the ones that stick out for me the most.
Yeah, I think we both agree on that then. I'm just doing one more once over. Otherwise, I think we're all in agreement there. I quite liked some elements of Zal, but he was a bit messy. I think he's getting a top 3 place. Roboute Guilliman's base form was interesting, but the Reckoning form is a bit of a disaster. And
Yes.
Rapturous voice was really cool, but then the purples happened and ruined it. But very cool idea before that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think we're all in agreement then. So it's all right. So who do you think goes in first then? What's your first instinct out of the ones that we've talked about?
Absalom Wraith.
I think I'm leaning towards the same. Yeah, why is that?
I would say I like Enforced Law as well, but as you said, Enforced Law would be amazing if there was a faction for the arbiters, right?
And it needs a bit of work on the wording and mechanics. But yes, I agree with you. Yeah.
I would say Absalom Wraith for a few reasons. It does have a silver bullet card, but it gives it does something that we are looking for in general in these games for Warlord to do, right? When you have a new Warlord, what you want it to do basically is that you want it to kind of incentivize a new type of play, make a deck build around the Warlord. The problem that, for example, the Kaon had, right? Kaon was really cool, but it's a troop that makes you build a deck around it. While it's more interesting to have a Warlord that dictates what the deck is built like, right? So I would say Absalom Wraith. What do you say, Shad?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. You know what I was just thinking while bullet card though, one way to fix Exitus Actor Probat to make it more applicable would be it removes those traits from all units, not just enemy units. So you can actually build it up as a kill shot by building up a hand of stealth troops in your hand and then just dropping them all and Exitusing them for 12 damage. That'd be quite a cool sort of slow combo shots that would be very flavorful as well. But yeah, overall, I think I agree. Absalom Wraith, it's not perfect, but it's got a lot of cool things going for it, and it's overall very nicely formatted. The art's good, the wording's good. It's good.
He also sent some voice lines for it.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna.
You get him playing on stream?
I think I could. Give me a second. Let me just download it. Okay, wait a minute. Apparently... Okay, let's try that again.
They will create and shadows. Tell your men to stay on.
Okay.
Did he make these? These sound official. Oh my god. Those aren't. He didn't make those, did he?
You can. It's audible on stream, right?
Yeah. Well, I could hear it in my headphones. I don't know if they could
maybe
hear
it was the
stream.
microphone. I think there's a. Yeah.
Can
anyway,
you guys hear that in the chat?
Anyway, those were very good. Those were very good, man.
Oh, someone just called Vindicare Assassin joined. I wonder.
That's the guy.
Hey, mate. Looks like you're winning first place, maybe.
Yeah, Rogue Vindicare Assassin. We've been bullying the guy for a while. Never let him win anything. But finally, he gets
really?
first place. Yeah.
Well, we don't know that for sure yet. The discussion's not over, but it's promising.
I'm still pushing to give this first place to it.
Never say never, though. Remember that? What was the word bearer tactic in the Void Warfare one that we was like, oh, this is definitely first or second place, and it got pushed all the way out of the top 3. We talked about it. It's like, oh no, never mind. Down it goes, and it's gone. But I think Vindicare's probably.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, Vindicare Assassin guy in chat though. Did you actually record those voice lines? Because they sound professional. They're really good.
No,
they sound like they're ripped out of a. Oh, they're ripped out of the Dawn of what I was gonna say. Okay, I was gonna say those are too good for. We've had some good stuff before, but those sounded professional quality. All right, cool.
All right, so Vindicare Assassin.
Take it? I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Very well,
Rogue right.
Vindicare Assassin. Congratulations on first place with your whatchamacallit? Absalom Wraith. And please text me your name on Discord. I don't remember what your in-game name was, and I'm too kind of lazy to search in all the mails. So please text me your in-game name in my Discord. Anyway, congratulations on the first place, man. Well done.
All right. I'm leaning towards Enforced Law for second place, but what else is on the table? There's what was it? Son of the Forest. I do quite like what he's going for there as well.
Yes.
Atom's Sun and Boreas. Are those the other ones that are all up for debate?
Yes, for second place for sure.
Right. I think I like Enforced Law the most out of those. It's a bit flawed because of all the mechanics are a bit fucky, but I just like it so much as like a design space. There's so much. I would just love to have it in the game, basically.
This is from Little Grey Dog.
Hey, is this the first time he won something? I don't know. It's we bitch at each other all the time in the Discord. So
I don't think it was maybe it was the hawk. That there are 2 of those. So the little little grey dog.
It's difficult to
Yeah, I think I could agree. I really like this, and I was also considering it for first place. So I think it's only fair to give Enforced Law the second place.
Yeah, I think so. So it's just third place then between, what is it, Son of the Forest and Boreas? Or is there any... and Atom's Sun.
Wait.
Those 3.
Give me a second. I'm still gonna push a couple of those there. Let me just search for Little Grey Dog's mails. I want to see what's his in-game name. Oh, he had sent some pretty interesting stuff before, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think he's won anything yet, has he? But this, well, he might have. I don't remember. My memory's horrible. I can never remember who's won what.
Oh, he's got some pretty interesting stuff sent. Mostly he sends Thousand Sun stuff. Oh, and he had the Regulus there, which is pretty good. Little Grey Dog, first of all, well done. So that's your second place in the bag. Please email me your in-game name now, all right? Because I'll need it to send to Everguild. Sooner I can send these to Everguild, guys, the sooner you get your rewards. So just mail me, all right? As soon as you can. Anyway. So move to third place, and I'm also going to be pushing for Lord Cipher on top of the others.
I just don't see it.
Okay, so which are the ones that we're talking about? We mean, maybe I'm saying Lord Cipher, Son of the Forest.
What was it? Boreas and Atom's Sun as well, and arguably Karo Khan as well. I don't know about that. Yeah, but they're the ones in third. Third is very contested. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. Yeah.
Let's start by eliminating, is what I think.
Okay. Well, honestly, then I think Lord Cipher goes first because besides the pistols, it just doesn't have much going. You wouldn't build a deck around it. The random purple, it's just, yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let's also hear the community as well as we're discussing. So I'm gonna start a poll, guys.
Sorry, Luther, man. I know I like guys to just
Who gets
It's Cipher, bro.
eliminated? Let's say these ones. So Cipher, Boreas. I think the other one that is possible to eliminate because it's a little too OP. And Corsaro.
See, I like Boreas more than most of the others, though, because even though it is OP, it functions. Like, all the mechanics are flavorful and are there and are written properly.
Then
So,
who's the
yeah, it's
third
just
one
a little
for
strong.
elimination? Who's the third one for elimination?
What was it? Sorry, Atom's Son? Did you put him up? And Son of the Forest, was that it?
What's it called?
There were five. There were 5 cards. Yeah, Atom's Son. There were Atom's Son, Karo Khan, Luther, Cipher, Son of the Forest, and Boreas.
Okay, started the poll. Let's see how the guys.
Oh,
vote.
there's a poll.
Let's see what.
Okay.
Let's see who gets eliminated.
Well, I have my stream up, so I get to vote too.
Zermal, I think you're in trouble.
I'm sorry, man. I do like your cards.
Yeah, he always makes really cool cards. Okay, 7 votes for now. Atom Sum is faring quite well. Most people are saying that Cipher needs to get eliminated.
I like Atom's Son the best.
Oh wait, Corsaro and Cipher are actually equal now.
Ooh, head to head.
Come on, guys, vote. I'll wait for at least 12 votes. Okay, Cipher.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Don't disqualify your own cards.
I vote my card. Oh my god.
You fool! What have you done? You've doomed us all.
Okay, guys, waiting for 12 votes and I'm gonna shut the poll down.
Oh no, 11. One more.
And I shut it off.
Tiebreaker,
guys. Come on. Vote. We need vote number 12. Come on.
Maybe we only have 11 watchers. Oh no, we have 23 watchers apparently.
Come on. People.
We need a lurker.
Come on, people. What's one vote? Just press the damn button.
Just watch, they're going to vote for Atom's Son now and leave it a tie.
Press the button or the Demonculaba wins. Oh my god. Okay, I'm giving you 20 seconds. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, Zermal, off you go, man.
Oh, brutal.
Okay, so apparently Cipher got 50, Corsaro got 41, and Atomsum got 8. So it means that people prefer Atomsum over over the other two. I would say in terms of being fair, I also think Atomsum is the most interesting out of those because it really is a pretty deep and interesting warlord. Though it could be a little crazy, but it certainly is a better Oricon the Divine.
Yeah, he's interesting to play. He doesn't really give you a builder, but like the actual turn-to-turn decision player of him would be quite interesting. Yeah, so he's the best out of those. Yeah. Right. So I guess that leaves. Should we also eliminate Corsaro as well then, since he had votes? So it would just be between. We'd have Atom's Son, Son of the Forest, and Boreas to choose between.
This is hard. So basically, we're choosing between Boreas, Sons of the Forest, and Atomsum?
Yeah, seems about right. That only leaves us 3 then. We could put that to a vote again as well.
I think so, and we're also going to do the Ion e Kapanadze. I don't play Warhammer, but Atomsum sounds cool.
Well, it's a Magic the Gathering card, is Only problem is I don't think they can actually do that with their code, but it shouldn't be that hard to do. Sorry, Luther. Better luck next time. You do make good cards. Please keep submitting. They are fun and good.
Absolutely. So let me make a Ioane, by the way. Did you see that Hades 2 is coming out? Okay, so I'm telling him because he'll know. So Atom Sum, Boreas, and Son of the Forest, right? Let's see which one the people like the most.
I'd say just do an elimination for this. We should argue between the other two because I don't think we should give it entirely in the hands. It isn't a democracy after all.
Which gets kicked?
Yeah, that's a better one. Yeah.
The audio stream currently is lower than recommended. What now? Really?
We're quiet, basically, I guess.
Huh. God damn. Well, I'll fix that later on. Okay. You're not the one Shad hates the most.
I don't hate anyone because I don't have a good enough memory to remember people.
Look at that. People love Atom Sum.
That's interesting. I mean, I like him, but I don't see why he's got that much appeal.
I mean, because people love Thousand Suns, obviously.
I guess, but he doesn't. I guess he would just be fun to play. It's quite. You'd feel like a predicting the next play and setting everything up to predict your opponent's moves.
Let's wait for a couple of votes. You look, Boreas and Sand. Oh, now it's equal.
Oh no, it's evened out. Okay, shit.
This is actually interesting.
I guess we're waiting on a tiebreaker then. Yeah, one more vote. Hey, I gave you the gold between us. Why am I in your sights?
12 votes and it's a tie. Give more votes, people. Come on.
Yeah, one more vote.
There's
we'll
23 people watching. Just friggin' click the damn button.
To be fair, 2/3 engagement is pretty good.
I don't even enter into eliminations. Aw.
Sorry, which one was yours, Cross?
It was Azrael.
Oh, yeah, it was fine. It's just, warlords are really hard to... Honestly, if you're not sure in the design, it's often better to not design a warlord, because a warlord needs to justify itself as creating an entire new archetype around it. Otherwise, why does it exist? So they're very difficult. Hey,
Shad, have you ever checked out the Kairos that I made in one of the tournaments? I actually got second place for that.
That was was that Midnights? That was ages ago, wasn't it?
No, that was on Midnights. No? I made Nurgle one that he liked a lot. It was an actual tournament, I think, ages ago, where I made Kairos.
Oh, right, the very first one. Pirate and Godric as judges. I actually don't remember how far I entered that one. Yeah, I don't remember it very well, but I did see it. I didn't know that was yours. Yeah, that was pretty cool, if I remember correctly. I had you could create cards that had been played or cards on the top of decks.
Yeah,
and stuff,
there you go.
Yeah.
Future. Okay, no, people are not voting. I guess it's up to us.
We're gonna have to argue then. Okay.
Yeah, let's argue. Let's argue.
All right. Well, let's see. So they're all a little bit broken here and there, as in a little not functional. Because let's see, Atom Sum is just a bit messy, but we get what it's supposed to be doing. Boreas is too strong. Everything works, but it's just a bit OP. And Son of the Forest can create toxic lockout game states because it fills boards. So in some scenarios, it just ends the game. So they all have problems. I think Son of the Forest is the weakest out of those precisely for that reason. It's just too egregious an offense, if that makes sense. I'd say that's the first one to go. Yeah.
Just in case, I want to double check his thing. So then he also sent a note. Means randomly change a position of each troop to any other of the 11 available on your
side. I do like that. That's great flavor. It just needs to not fill the board because it's just too many. If you fill the board entirely, some decks cannot do anything. It'd be really toxic. If it was 5, it would be fine. But it's a really big oversight.
Yeah, I think it has that lockout problem that you mentioned. In terms of
Yeah.
like just it's pretty good too though.
It's
But
just it's
yeah,
got the biggest problem. That's my thing. Remember, they're all good. That's why they're in the final. Just
yeah, that's
that one has
fair.
the biggest problem.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah,
So I think that one goes first.
I would agree because once again, if we're discussing it like that, it has the biggest problem. So it's the one that's like craziest.
Yeah. Okay, so Atom Summon Boreas then.
Ooh. Do we make another vote?
Nah, come on, this isn't a democracy. We already tried this. So I don't know. I like Boreas more, but Atom Sum people like the sort of manipulation. It's a very unique effect. I don't know. My vote is with Boreas, even though it's very strong. If it was just nerfed down a little bit, but Atom Sum is not broken, so that is also a positive point in its favor.
You know what? You know what? I think I agree with you in a way. Because
Oh
even
yeah,
though Atom Sum is pretty cool, I like the art as well and everything. Uh the thing is, Boreas is a little too more straightforward. I do like the flavor on it a lot as well, with the ability to delete duplicitus from the enemy. Hmm. But this is also so good. This is really hard for me to choose. Atom Sum is also really nice. But hmm. God damn it.
I'm a sucker for the old retro art as well.
There's also one problem. I think that Atom Sum can create some trashy situations. Like you return something with time flux, it costs 3 less. Then you use your ability, it costs 1 less. Uh, so
Right.
it might be a little toxic.
To be fair though, by that point in the game, if you're copying something your opponent's played or you've played, then it's limited by your energy factor, so it's not that broken, really.
That's true. Let's flip a coin. Igor is saying let's flip a coin. And Rogue is saying share the third place and split the winnings. Oh my
No,
god.
we can't do that. EG don't like that.
Or just give it to the Demon Kulaba. Okay. Ah.
Make a
Let's see.
wooden
Let's see
spoon
what.
prize.
Let's see what the chat thinks. Let's see what they think as well. I'm not saying like choose according to what they say, but let's see what they think. Which is better? Let's say it like that. Atum Sum, or Boreas. Okay, boys, just vote. Okay, 1 vote for Atom Sum, 1 vote for Boreas. 5 votes for now. People like Atom Sum, but I guess it's still for us to decide. It's 50-50. Okay, people are still pushing Atom Sum.
It's very difficult because they're not really competing in the same axes, are they? So it's very you can't directly compare them. I mean, one's a troop, one's a warlord. One of them has balance issues, one of them has mechanics issues. They're very very difficult. It's come down to.
So which is worse, balance issues or mechanic issues?
Oh, just hard to say. I would lean towards mechanic issues, and that's personal bias there.
Yeah, I kind of would agree.
Well, that's bad. Take the vote down then, because they're disagreeing with us.
They can disagree with us. We're the ones who choose, so.
Careful. There's the mobile guillotinus. Have us up on the gibbet.
Oh my god. Boreas, I only want Dark Angels to win, Master Cross says.
Yeah, Atom Sun seems to be the one.
You know
honestly, I can, yeah.
You know what we should do, Shad? You remember the last time, you remember how we did it last time when we were stuck? We discussed it according to a couple of things. So first, if we
that's my point, though. They don't argue along the same routes, so we can't really do that. At least I don't think so. We can try it if you want. Go for it. Yeah.
So I mean, Art-wise, both are really cool, even though I too am a sucker for the older art.
Yeah, well, Boreas's art is superior. Come on.
Absolutely. As well
New
as the
GW
wording,
AI generated slop or third edition art. Come on, that's no contest.
I think in terms of also wording, Boreas is more well done.
Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with Boreas's wording. It's just the balance. Yeah.
In terms of like I have no idea. I'm stuck.
Boreas is a lot of value, and it is like a disproportionate large amount of value for considering the body as well. Atom Sum, it's just hard to evaluate. It's such a unique effect. We have nothing like it in the game already.
Maybe just let Lilith win?
Just on principle, I refuse. Yeah, the femboy has to win, I agree. Yeah, it's always difficult, isn't it, Hubel? I assume that's Hubel anyway. It's his Russian name. His English name is Hubel on the card creation server. Oi, stop that. No garters.
I got no idea. I'm actually stuck.
I'm gonna go with Boreas then, just because like no wording issues. It's a more clear card. The flavor's good. Like the more I look at Atom Sun, the more issues there are with wording and like formatting. It's just a bit messy, and the random purple doesn't really do it any favors.
Let the Demonculaba win. People are saying yeah.
No one actually made a Demon Kilaba card, did they? I mean, they made the Lord of the Unfleshed.
Yeah,
but...
so that's
there was no Demon Kilaba. Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
missing out there. You could you touch my talala.
You know what's funny? Kulaba or Kulaba in Georgian actually means a piggy bank. So it makes even more sense. It makes so much sense in my language. Demon piggy bank.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Atom Sum's purple has no faction. That's another formatting. They just mount up. I think overall they mount up too much.
Boreas it is. Boreas.
Yeah, sorry man. It was a hard fought, but Boreas third.
Now, guys, first of all, thank you once again for the participation. I'm very happy that more and more people are participating in this. It's really cool, especially considering we had 84 cards this time. Well, of course, part of it was like Checkers one, but you know what I mean. Still pretty good amounts of submissions. This is really good because we're really enjoying doing this, and EG is also doing really well in terms of being operative in this, because like as soon as I text them, they instantly reply and give the rewards to players, so there's no delay. So I'm really enjoying doing the tournament and everything. So that's pretty cool. Now, Shad, before we finish up, this is what I want. To all our viewers right now, could you please write down what would you like to be the theme of the next tournament? Of course, we're still going to decide, because that's
a good idea. Yeah,
we'll
note them all down as well for later.
Yeah. So please, would you tell us what you would like to have as a theme for the next tournament?
Yeah, everyone, post your ideas. Anything. It's we've got a list already, but if any of the good ones, can't guarantee that they'll go on anytime soon, of course, but there's always a chance.
As for the other thing, I already have Piotr Semkin's name, the third place guys. I will need the in-game name from Rogue Vindicator Assassin, and I am going to need the one from Little Grey Dog. You guys gotta send me the name so that I can text EG right after this stream. Sooner the better, because you need to get your rewards. Ozzy says demons. That's actually pretty
Mission tournament's interesting.
Mission tournament's interesting. Vindicator tournament.
That would be very difficult to design for. Yeah, Caliban. That's, to be fair, that's broad enough. Just doing one faction is a bit small, but Caliban encompasses a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Neutral cards related to a non-Warhammer. See, the problem with doing things like that is you can't evaluate them properly because like they don't fit into the existing game.
They're pushing the
Like-
one energy, one shad. We were talking about that.
Oh,
Actually.
I do love one. I've always wanted to see that. One energy and zero energy. Those can be separate. We can do those differently. I always love seeing like low cost cards and seeing how you can push them. Yep.
Well, I mean, I guess me and Shad are gonna now discuss it after this stream, and we'll let you know very soon.
There'll be a video up tomorrow, probably.
So send me your names, guys, so that you get your rewards as soon as possible. Thank you for participating. Please check out my week schedule on my community tab. I've all posted what exactly I'm going to be doing this week. I'm going to be putting out a schedule every week from now on so that you guys have an idea and so on. I think I'll be streaming HHL tomorrow, as I believe I promised tomorrow. You can check it out, and there's going to be more stuff coming as well. So anyway, thank you for joining in, guys.